Um, I love that. I should like
Live
start
now,
a
now.
little dance like to
Chelsea behind the art.
yes. Okay, perfect. I see us on Twitch. I see you dancing on Twitch. Now
Groovy.
I officially have you dancing in the clip, so we're gonna need to clip that later. Um, everyone, once you, I see us, but pop in the chat once you hop in and let us know that you're here. Say hi, and we'll say hi back. But I always get paranoid, and it's the first episode of season 2 of Behind the Art, so I'm especially paranoid that we're not streaming, even though I know we're streaming. So
Rad.
awesome. Hey, oh, Whale Shark is in the chat. Hey Josie. Hey
Hi, Whale
Joy.
Shark.
Nice to
Whale
see you.
Shark. Top
He's
collector number one.
whoop whoop. He has a dance for you too. Yes, Joy, bro. No, this is gonna be a fun one. I'm super happy that you're kicking off season 2 because
Cool.
you're just energy. Like, I mean, look at the room you're sitting in right
And
now.
we're in
Like,
season 2 Joy World also.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
When did
that's what I
season 2
consider.
Joy World start?
So that started in December
Okay.
whenever I ended that contract that I kind of
Mhm.
like hacked together myself,
Mhm.
and then reminted all the joys on a fresh like open sea type contract, and
I
then
want to get into that a little
reissued
bit.
everything. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, not yet. Let's wait for some people to come in,
Okay.
but I definitely want to get into that.
Cool.
Awesome. Sending invites to the whale server. Cool. Let's get some
Into the
whale
whale
people in here.
ocean.
I have a lid on my water because I was telling Joy before we started streaming, my kittens are being especially crazy today, but I don't have a lid on my wine, so you're gonna have to wish me luck. But cheers, Joy, to this
Cheers.
episode and to having fun. Oh yeah, all the way up
Cheers.
there. Whale shark. It's probably.
Wait, we need to do it again. We need to make eye contact while we do it.
Oh, did
It's
I
part of
not?
it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. I made eye contact the whole time.
Salute. Cheers.
Salute. Hey, Easy and Crypto. Couldn't chat until I quit and rejoined. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know why. That is weird.
So the internet.
So glad to have Behind the Art back in action. I know, I'm so excited too. Hey, Point Shark.
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah.
for hopping in. Okay, cool. I will. Hey, Joy. Hey, Josie. Oh, by the
Hi.
way, Easy and Crypto. Oh, two small shout outs. Async Art sent me this super cool shirt, and I love it.
Yeah.
And Easy and Crypto sent me some really awesome stuff that I should probably let Easy talk about later because I'm gonna have Easy on the show too soon, which I'm really excited about. That I like don't know anything about, but he makes this really cool. I can't pronounce the word. What is it called? It's not CBD stuff. It's like sal. I don't know. I don't want to mispronounce it and say some other weird thing. I think it's CBD stuff. But he sent me some cool stuff, and you guys should check it out and DM him if you guys need any awesome treatments, serums, skin
Nice.
stuff. Yeah, it is CBD, right? I thought it was. Yeah. What? How do you pronounce that word? Salves.
Salvis?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not gonna pretend I know much about it, but it was cool. So thank you. Okay, awesome. Let's get started. So I'm super excited to have you on, Joy. I just saw your shorts; those look so cool.
These are Joy
Um,
World unreleased shorts. These never came
no
out.
way.
Yeah,
How?
look.
So are they like? Are they
Does it, can
vintage
you see it?
now?
Is this weird?
They're
Does it say
so
does you
cool.
see where it says Joy World? Joy
Yeah,
World.
yeah, yeah. I see it clearly.
Yeah, they're vintage. There's only like 2 pairs ever made. Like
No
one
way.
for a friend in Japan and then these pair for me.
Okay,
They're
that
like a
is awesome.
swimsuit.
Did you
And
make them, or did you just have them produced as a test to see how they were, and just never produced them largely?
yeah, I had them produced as a test. For a little while, I had a shop between like season 1 and season 2. And I experimented with making clothes and stuff. And like Mike Demarius from like Rainbow, like is rocks some Joy World gear. And
Hell
definitely
yeah.
there's like some people out in the early, from the early like OG collectors that bought some like stuff from the Joy shop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made these shorts and I ordered like a test pair for myself. I was like, these are so great because I like to swim and stuff. I'm like highly aquatic. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I like to like I will just wear like a swimsuit all day if I can get away with it.
Hell yeah. So do
And rock
you
some
do you
clogs.
get to swim often?
No, I haven't
No.
swam for like months because like COVID and just
Yeah.
like everything going on. And
Yeah.
then I haven't had a car for like 6 years. Just like kind of by choice. I lived in SF for like 3 or 4 years, and
Hmm.
then I didn't have a car there, and then I needed a car again. And I worked for like this guy Paul Bundes. We made a bike company together for a while, and
Oh,
so
cool. So you're
I
just
didn't.
biking everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. I have this like crazy titanium bike that he gave me. Like, he would give everyone at the company a free bicycle. You know, they're like
No
$8,000
way. Holy
crazy
crap.
like
So they
Thai
cost as
bikes.
much as a car. You basically had a car, but it had two wheels and it was a bike.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that's what I like roll around on.
That is awesome. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
the bike
Speak.
company was crazy. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, you.
No, I was just gonna ask, like, I was gonna ask more about your work, kind of like when you were living in SF, what you were doing, and then when you moved, how did you get hooked up with this bike company?
Sure. Yeah. So I started out kind of, my parents are artists, and then I worked up from there. And like you kind of just like indoctrinated into like making things. And when people tell you as a kid, like, hey, it's a good job, you're doing a good job, like, oh, you made a pot, like, spin another pot, or like, here, I'll teach you how to like cast the thing. So you kind of just like, okay, this is what you do. So I've kind of just like evolved from there. And for a while I went to school for machine shop technology. I did like 3 years of that because I wanted to make the machinery that people make prototypes inside of Apple.
Oh,
So I wanted to work in like the prototype shop and see everything and like make all the weird like ideas.
yeah.
Um, but it was weird because I get kind of like real obsessive, and I like to like go deep into like a thing I'm studying. So I like didn't want to machine the actual prototypes. I wanted to make the tools that held the machines that you make the prototypes with,
Oh,
which is
wow.
like 2 layers like deeper into
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
And so I got way into that. And then right before, like a semester before I was supposed to like graduate this program, I just like dropped it, and I went to go get a bachelor's in painting because I was like, I just really want to paint. Like, I don't really want to like just make a thing for like so singular, you know? I
No
just
way.
wanted
So how long was that at that school that you were in for
to.
this?
I went for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, or no, it was 3 years to complete, and I was 2 years into it.
Okay.
uh, and I got, yeah, into making all kinds of crazy stuff. I was like working overtime, and I was like top of the class, but I just like to go make stuff, and I didn't
Totally.
have anything else to do, so they let me into the machine shop at night, and I would just like make tons of like little like screws and things that kind of assemble.
That's
Uh,
so cool.
I
That's
got way
that's
deep
super
into that.
interesting.
Yeah, and I was more so like I just liked the machines. Like, you have this, it's a huge machine. It's called a Haas six axis CNC machine,
Hmm.
and it was crazy. It had like 24 tool changing, and like it would just grab a bit and it would be and just cut in the metal. My friend like exploded like a bit in there, and it was so loud. It kind of freaked me out. And like lots
Yeah,
of
I'm
people
sure that's
like lose
super
eyes in the
dangerous.
industry and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, lose fingers, lose eyes. Oh
yeah,
my
because just a
god.
decimal point. And like when we started with that, they were like, we're going to teach you G code. You have to learn to program the machine in G code first, which is like G1,
Oh my
like
god, you learned so many
X7.
freaking skills in there. This is awesome. Are you
Yeah, and
so
so,
thankful you still went to school for a couple years for that though?
oh, absolutely. And it's funny, no one's ever asked to see a degree or anything. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
after school, I like went to painting, and that was cool. I got really into. I ended up making like 1,000 some paintings, and what I was
Wow.
doing was I was just buying a huge roll of canvas, and I'd roll it out and like
Okay.
cut it, and I'd make paintings, paint. And then I was painting on doors, painting because like you could buy a door for $20, and it's like a hollow core door. It's like a great surface to paint on,
Yeah.
and it's huge. It's like 7 feet. So it's painting. And my wife and partner Amber and I, we were living in Pueblo. This was during when we were in school going for painting, and uh, I like ended up painting all these paintings and filling. We like rented this weird house. We're in Pueblo, Colorado. And we rented this like 3-story, is weird house in the middle of nowhere kind of thing, and we filled the basement with paintings.
That's
It was
awesome.
insanity. But I kept talking to my painting instructor and stuff, and I was like, I love making stuff, but I just wanted to make everything with
Hmm.
nothing. So I'd try, and she would be like, well, just go paint the sidewalk with like a brush, like a giant mop with water. So I go do that, draw huge smile,
Oh,
yin yangs and stuff.
yeah.
And go into public and draw huge things. And
Do you
I thought that
have
was
like pictures from these days when you were doing stuff like that?
not a ton of stuff like that, just a little bit like from when I go like do graffiti at night with my friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just really into like expansive like creativity.
Mhm.
Um, and so at that time I got out of school and we were kind of like, where should we go? And we wanted to just move somewhere. We were thinking about moving to San Francisco, and we saw like we were living in Pueblo, and everyone in Colorado is real conservative in a lot of places. Like both Amber and I's parents were real conservative. We grew up in southeastern Colorado, which is basically out in Kansas,
Okay.
and um, yeah, like it's very conservative, really weird out there. And everyone said don't move to Boulder, like it's ran by hippies and everyone's on acid and it's the worst place on earth to be. So we moved there. We're
Okay.
like, let's
Awesome.
go
Of course.
there. That sounds
You're
rad.
like, if it's the opposite of this place, why not try it out?
Yeah, and so we moved there, and I there was a Zen meditation center there, and I was like, that seems like the place to be, like go meditate and like figure out what's next, like what's the next thing. So we were working and like going and meditating at the Zen Center, the Shambhala Center in Boulder, Colorado, and we started cleaning houses because we were like, we got to make money to live, and so we were
Yeah.
cleaning rich people's houses, and we were kind of doing this thing where we'd go and we'd meditate in your house, and then we'd clean your house with all natural products like barefoot.
Yeah.
Like we didn't wear shoes or anything in your house, and we'd basically clean your house with water.
And they were like, this is so fucking weird, but sure, you can come clean my
Yeah,
house.
yeah, and people would pay like hundreds of dollars to be like, come clean our house, and like it was kind of really like a great
Wow.
gig because we would go clean houses and then we make art all day, like clean houses for like two or
Huh.
three hours a day and then make art all day. And we were just like working real hard with like that, and I ended up cleaning Paul Budnick's house, and he was the founder of Kid Robot, which makes like art toys like
Yep.
money bunnies that you can customize.
Mhm.
And Paul was like really cool, and he was also at the Zen Center, and I had hung out with him there. We'd both like ride our bikes to the Zen Center, and like I had like a bike that had a dowel rod as a handlebar,
Of course
and
you
it was
did.
yeah, it was a fixie, and it
And
was
you
like
had a mop attached to the end of it in case you needed to do art randomly while you're biking.
yeah, that's what I
That's
should
awesome.
have had.
Yes.
That
Have
would have
little
been nuts.
attachments for it that you just screw
Yeah.
on. But anyways, sorry.
Oh no, that's great. I kind of get carried away too, so just tell me to stop.
No, this is perfect. This is like super entertaining. Everyone in the chat is loving this, so continue.
Awesome.
So you
Yeah,
guys
so
met and then you were going to the Zen Center.
yeah, we're going to Zen Center, and one day after Zen Center, Paul was like, "Hey, dude, I prototyped some bicycles, and I want to start a bike company. Want to see them?" And I was like,
No
"Sure." And I came
way.
over. Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, let's
Oops. Did I lose you, Joy?
go." And so
Okay.
number one. Oh, you paused.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
you got me?
I'm not sure if my cat hit something. She
Oh,
just
it's
jumped up here.
okay.
Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, so we prototyped. So he had prototyped these two bikes. He called the Budnitz number one, which was like kind of like a single speed, real fast, kind of right around the city bike. And then the other bike was the Budnitz number two, which had like giant fat tires, and it was like more like a cruiser bike.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like the concept was like the best bicycle to go get a cup of coffee on. So everything was like race components, like everything was made out of titanium, belt drives, like nothing rusts or corrode, last a lifetime.
Wow.
And so yeah, we like built these bikes. We're building these bikes, and like we worked with a shop near Boulder to like kind of build the bikes, and then we had people at the bike shops would come to our shop at night and like put the bikes together. Well, it kind of started in Paul's basement, but his wife kicked us out. She was like, "No, you guys can't be doing this here. This is like gonna be crazy." So we had like a little shop on Pearl Street, like on the like far end of it, which isn't like the fancier end, but it's like this is cool place. We sold bikes to like the Foundry group, and just like different like weird investors and stuff would come in and buy these bikes.
That's
And then
so cool.
yeah, we'd have them made, and then we'd have like the frames and components made, and then we'd have stuff made in Germany, and we had stuff made all over the world. Our concept was like, we don't care where stuff's made as long as it's the best. Like everything had to be the best.
Right.
And so like the best frames and different stuff, like we ended up having to move out of the US because we couldn't get the best. The only best for like the frames ended up being in Taiwan. And like we had headsets made like in Germany, like it's stuff made
Oh my
everywhere.
gosh.
It was crazy. We'd source all this stuff, and then we would hire the local the like bike shop guys to like come in at night and like put the bikes together.
No way.
yeah, and so that's how like we started this whole like bike company that way, and then people would come pick them up or we'd ship them out. And so like we were kind of talking about prints before like the thing
Yeah.
started. And, like we'd ship bikes and they're like $8,000, and we'd ship them to Europe, and like the whole frame box would get smashed in, and then
Oh
we like, what
God.
can I do? And we'd have to like sort that out.
It's literally the worst feeling ever. Just like
It was
praying
mad.
that things get there, okay? God.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd be like there. Like I remember it was like it was like Christmas Eve, and like or like a week before Christmas or something. Paul and I were like sitting on the floor like shipping beer wrenches because we made like a Budnitz beer wrench that you could like bolt onto your bike. It was crazy. And then Paul wanted to move the company to Vermont, and he was like, "You guys want to go with us?" And we're like, "Yeah, why not?" And so he was like, "Okay." And he just like he paid for us to move to Vermont with him. So like we didn't even like know much about Vermont, and we ended up living there for like 3 years,
No
made like all
way.
kinds of like great friends. And then after being there for so long, it's like the winters are real harsh and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of like what should we do next? And then someone had reached out to me interested in me working at this company called Brilliant. And Brilliant is like math and science education for like super smart kids.
Okay.
So it's like quantum physics for like 9-year-olds.
Oh my gosh.
And it's all like apps and stuff. And this person, Sue Kim, she's like amazing founder of this company. She was like, come to San Francisco and like do this thing. And like she flew me out there, and I met her, and this is like really awesome, like great team and everything. And then like I came back to Vermont, I was hanging out with my friends, and I was like, no. And she's like, yeah, just do it. And I was like, okay, let's go. So I ended up spending like 3 years working there on that. And about that time, I started getting into VR. And
And
when
was it through your work at Brilliant that you started getting into it, or just separately?
yeah, it was separate. So like I saw somebody sculpting a giant red spider in an Oculus like DK2 kit, and it was an augmented reality, and they were just like sitting back like this all. And I was like, that's it. That's you can make everything like from nothing. Like, infinite material, infinite like creativity with like no boundary. No weight, no gravity to hold you back, but you're still working with your hands and like making stuff. And so I kept asking people like, VR, do you know about VR? And I was in San Francisco. I thought like everyone would just be instantly into it. And I kept pitching it to that company, like, we got to do everything in VR. I think it was just driving me mad because like I went to Best Buy and tried it, and I was like, this is incredible. So I bought like a Vive and started doing Tilt Brush. And
No
Tilt Brush,
way. So
yeah,
what year were you doing that? Because I'm so intrigued by, I feel like you've been doing this forever. Like you were such an early adopter, and I'm really jealous and just amazed. So what year was that?
I think that was 2016, so it wasn't
That's
like
amazing.
terribly long ago.
I mean,
Um,
4 years, that's pretty long.
yeah, it's like a first gen Rift, and so it was in the early Tilt Brush days. And early Tilt Brush, you couldn't resize, and so you had to
Mm.
paint. And I would be like painting, and I'd be like, everything was like just chaos
Yeah.
to like make a thing, and you're like, because everything's a brush stroke. Like people who tilt brush are mad. Like they're the best. Like they're insane. Like
Oh my
they're real.
God. I've
They're
watched
kind of
some
like real
videos.
painters where they're like,
Crazy.
you know,
Yeah. And then
it's
they're like,
so
I don't know. I'm just so
physical.
mesmerized by the videos of people doing it, and like the speed ones especially. I'm like, this is just like you have to be on something to be able to like be doing what you're doing in there, but it's amazing.
Yeah. No, it's you are on something. You're on like in VR is like drugs.
Yeah.
It's like they spent forever trying to block drugs. Oh, people can't freak out. People can't have those like experiences. And now you can just put a headset on, and it's like literally you're on drugs. Like your perception is altered, your feelings are altered, everything has changed. Like scale doesn't make sense anymore. Like it's pretty close to drugs. I'm
Yeah.
scooting up in my my joy trunks here.
Oh, no worries. We can't see anything below there anyways. So,
I don't even know
um,
how to set this
that's
thing up.
that dude. That's such an awesome. So you got into tilt brush, and
Yeah.
then what? And then you just basically, I'm assuming, because this is how it worked for me. Once I had like a little taste of something and I needed to keep going, you just go on to the next thing, and you just learn the next thing, and you just learn the next thing until you're like, you know everything, and you
Yeah.
have probably gone through so many different sorts of devices to learn this stuff on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a beginner's mind and kind of like a nothing special kind of attitude where it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, well, it's not that special anymore. Like, what's next? And like, kind of like it's good to always want to like learn, you know, and
Yeah.
just like that's what I kind of think of it as. I never like Brilliant was really what I really liked about Brilliant. I didn't mention much about it, but it's like everyone would make you think there. Like
Mm.
everyone was super like everyone is a quantum physicist. They're like everyone in the company is like 14 people like in that office, and like this guy Christian, it would be always be like and Anton would always get in arguments, and then they would always end it in like they would always say what they say well, there's no way to know, and it's true
Uh,
because like, and that's why, oh, okay, yeah, there's no way to know. And so I always think that, like, you know, there's no way to like know, there's no way to really know like what's real, what's fake, or like what matters or anything. And then it's like another piece of advice I always go with from my mom is like you should always have as much fun as possible. and
I like
and
that.
I think that's true in art. Like if you're not having fun, like, you know, like what's the point? And like you're not a designer. Like designers are supposed to solve problems and like answer stuff and make stuff work. Like does
Hmm.
artists are supposed to cause chaos and like make problems and like kind of upset people, you know, a little
Yeah.
bit, like, you know, shake things up.
That's so interesting because when I first, I was telling you a little bit before, but so I got introduced to your work through Devil.
Devil
And
rules.
yeah, I know.
Devil! I
I feel
love
like
Devil.
at first I was like, is Devil
OG
in
Joy
Joy?
World. He knows the most about Joy World.
I
He's just
know. I
incredible.
was
Like,
like, is
we've been talking
Devil?
since the beginning.
Yeah, for he's the biggest advocate.
And
He's
Caleb
loves your
K.
work.
He was
He's
on
been
there.
collecting for so long. And at first I was like, is Devil Joy? Like, are they the same person? Like, only because
Okay, okay.
has this been like a conspiracy? Is this
This
a
has been
thing?
my conspiracy for a little bit. Was I actually for a while started to think maybe Devil was, it was like a situation like Tyler Durden kind of situation where I started thinking I was Devil, like chatting. Like
Oh my
I
God,
started to
that's
wonder if I was, because Devil has advised me a lot. Like
yeah.
Devil was the one who said change your contract, where I was like, everyone's gonna like be mad if I change this contract. People love this like hot potato. I gotta stick with this. I'm like in this now with all these joys and people and money, and this is like change the contract, you know, move forward, like try the new thing.
That
And
is
I actually
amazing.
had Amber sit with me and like watch me almost like as an auditor, like or whatever, like a to verify basically like this is not
Is
me
it your
because
conscience talking to you?
that's what I started wondering, because I was like, he has all the right ideas. He's telling me the things I like want to hear a lot of times. So I always,
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to Devil. I always love whenever he DMs me. So I'm like, what am I doing? Like that I should like, what should I be doing next? You know, like that I know I should be trying, or I'm not quite. So
Yeah, no, he's amazing. We like
yeah.
met by chance when I came into the CryptoKitties chat and I was like, "Hey, I'm trying to paint a CryptoKitty. I have no idea if I'm allowed to, all this stuff." And he like was like, "Let me give you the lowdown. I'll gift you one of those cats so you're allowed to paint it." And then I was like,
Cool.
okay, I'll gift you a piece of CryptoVoxels land. And that's how we like started our friendship. And then he told me about you immediately and was
Yeah.
just like raving about you. And I was like, this is awesome. And I joined your Discord. But really, the first time that I like got to experience your work in a way other than just like seeing it on Twitter or seeing it in your channel was when you did that live. Do you do those often? I feel like you don't.
No, I haven't done it often.
Okay.
So it's a lot of kind of like trickery to make it work.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, oh,
so
I'm
like I have,
sure.
yeah, you have to like attach the camera to your hand and then like flip it, and then like you have to kind of align it. And I usually grab Amber to like help me align.
Yeah.
And so like it's like really kind of not stable. It crashes
Okay.
kind of a lot.
I mean, this
Um,
is like hard for me to set up, so I can't even freaking imagine what you have to do to set up,
it's wild. Yeah, it's like a
streaming
two computer
live.
process and stuff. I should, and I keep telling myself I got to be doing this more, because it is like we're like the like kind of cavemen and women and people of VR and of the
Mm-hmm.
metaverse. Like we're the first ones. Like we just like started fire like by stepping into like our screens and stuff, like stepping through them.
Yeah.
And so I know I should be documenting it, but it is like a thing where it's like I try and be like I want to have the most fun as possible and not make it
Mm-hmm.
like a chore and not make it like. And then another thing I keep trying to do is like whenever you make art and you do it like with an expectation, like I'm gonna make this and make a bunch of money, or I'm gonna make this and like it's gonna be the coolest thing ever. Like it comes up like it ends up being like one of the worst, or like at the lower end of
Yeah.
like things you made. You know, you like
Totally.
you feel that way.
Yeah, oh, 100%. I have to, I mean, I've been really lucky and thankful that things that I think of in my head and that I'm super passionate about and I have like such a strong personal connection to that other people do as well and my
Yeah.
collectors enjoy it. But immediately, like if I'm in like a creative rut and I start to think like, what, what should I make that people would like, that I
Like,
snap
what am I
myself
supposed
out
to
of it.
do?
I'm like, I cannot do that, or else I know I will not like the piece. And if you don't like the piece, then
Yeah.
like you can't sell it. You know what I mean? Like it
Oh
doesn't feel
yeah.
like, it
I
feels
have a
like
lot
a
of those.
fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like it's not yours in a way. So no, I totally agree with you there.
Yeah. What to you is like when something's like when an artwork's complete? Um,
That's really hard.
yeah, like how do you
So
know?
So I often don't feel like the art is complete. I get it to a point where I'm like, I know if I do something else to it, I might fuck it up. Or, because obviously a lot of
Yeah,
mine start with physical painting, so I can't just
over
like
padding.
undo it. Or it's a lot harder
Absolutely.
to undo it. So I either like get to a point where I'm like, if I continue, I'm gonna fuck it up. Unless I've totally gone the route where I'm like, I could fuck it up, but also like I think I should continue, and it's been great. But there's a thing that I
The journey's
never,
so fun. Like when do you get off the ride?
yeah,
The like
it's
journey
weird. I
forward.
never feel like I'm obsessed with the piece, like totally obsessed with it and love it until like a year later. It's
Really?
very weird. I rarely feel like, wow, this is one of my best pieces until it's I'm looking back on it and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that was a cool piece, you know?
Nice. Is
I
it
don't
that
I
you
don't
want to
know.
kind of like detach yourself from like worrying about what it is, or
Yeah, kind of.
I find
Okay,
that
sorry. I'm sorry. My I told Joey before this, my kittens are like on another one tonight and I have no idea why. When I was looking over there for a while, one of them
it's
was,
almost the new moon.
I have an easel that has like two bars, and I've never seen her do this. She jumped up to the top bar and was literally hanging by her two paws and like couldn't get back
Whoa.
down. So they're crazy. I'm really sorry about that.
Oh, it's all
Anyways,
good.
anyways,
Animals
let's
rule.
continue. They're being nutso right now. But yeah, no, it's a weird feeling, but I love. I mean, your pieces. I would love to chat about a few of them, and I'm sure everyone in the chat is familiar with your work. We had a couple
Yeah.
questions come in. Is yellow? Oh wait, is yellow your favorite color? What inspires the theme? So I don't know. Open NFT. Are you have you seen some of Joy's work? We should. I don't know if you have some on your screen or if you want to talk about. I would love to know why you connect so much with yellow. I feel like
Yeah,
every time I
definitely.
see you, you're wearing it. I don't know if that's just on camera or if you wear like, if you have a closet
Literally, I
full of
have
yellow
all
shirts.
yellow. Yeah, it's all yellow or tie dye or blue. Whenever I was at the bike company, I was a minimalist.
Mm-hmm.
And like Paul and I were real obsessed with like minimizing. Like when Paul had moved to Boulder, he had just given all his stuff away. He had all these like he had like a Murakami toy and like the Murakami had drawn like on Kid Robot toy
No way.
and like all this like great stuff and like all kinds of sneakers and he just put them on the street in New York and then like he moved to Montana into like a Sears house which and like and let go of everything. And like I was very inspired by that. And I was also like on this minimalization path after making so all those paintings and stuff
Mm-hmm.
in school. And I was like, I just got to get rid of everything. So we had like gotten rid of everything and moved to Boulder. We just like given stuff away, just tons of stuff. We had a yard sale and like we were just like loading stuff in people's car. I'll take it. It's
Yeah.
free. Like,
Get it off my
yeah, just
hands.
go. And so it's just great to just give things away too. And so it's just like we then like yeah, I just kept getting more and more into minimalism, and Paul inspired me to go into minimalism. And I was always wearing black, and I kind of got real, but kind of depressed in Vermont. Like I was always in
Mm.
black and like very much minimizing everything. And like if you search like Tumblr, I have like an old Tumblr, and it's like all black and white, like weird remixed photos and stuff. And yeah, I basically went to California and I don't know if it was like the candy they sell in Dolores Park or like what it was, but I just like it was the sunshine and everything and I was just like, I think I like found some yellow shirts like at the rummage shop that was by my house and I like wore one and I felt great. Like it was
That's
like
awesome.
radiating energy into me and I was like, wow, I feel great. And it's just slowly I just kept just buying yellow clothes and then I started realizing it's really cool. If I wanted to buy anything, I just search for yellow, and then that
Yeah.
eliminated all the things. And because if you ever dig into like the paradigm of choice, it's like a nightmare because you can like have infinite choice now, and it's so hard to pick things, and you waste time picking things, and you can't like make art. And so I just like go like, is there a yellow thing? Is there a blue thing or a red thing? And so you're saying somebody's asking what those colors mean. So for me, yellow represents like creativity and joyfulness, like positivity and like radiation, like the sun,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
like kind of the force field that runs through all of us. We're all just kind of like cells connected through like this invisible energy field. And so like I'm trying to radiate that like that yellow positivity. Like the blues for like sweat and just like sweating things out, and like working and like creativity. It's also kind of for like royalty. Like basically, I kind of worship people who collect my art because I feel like we're sharing like a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, totally.
And then red is the blood, and so it's like yeah, for like my own
Blood,
like
sweat, and joy.
yeah, and so it's like my own like this like people will be like, this is a game or is this something that you're gonna get rid of? It's like no, like these joys are now a thing. Like I'm dedicated to this. Like this is like the
100%.
yeah, like this is my art. This is who I am. Like this is what we're building for fun, and
That's
hopefully
so
like
amazing.
it will be like a giant decentralized artwork when I'm done.
Yeah, well, especially with your work. I mean, when I create a work, it's super personal, and there are a lot of like personal meanings of why I'm creating a piece. And I don't
Yeah,
know if
same.
I necessarily like people outwardly see that right away. With your pieces, it feels like a piece of like you, literally you, which
Cool.
is so amazing because um, that's just I don't know. It's a totally different feeling. Like you feel, especially
It
because
makes me so happy.
yeah, especially because we have an idea of. I'm not saying I know how you create your stuff and I could do it, but I've seen you do it and I generally know the process. So to know that your hands are like forming each of these, curves and the earrings and the hair and the like all this crazy stuff is really cool, and it all fits this like when you look at a joy piece you know it's a joy piece, which is really cool and really special, and it definitely feels like it's a part of like you. I would love to talk about your art in general, and I said this on a podcast on curate I was on curating crypto and you came up, um, and I was chatting about you and I just said, and I felt really bad when I said this when I thought back on it, but in the moment it was the first thing that came out, and I'd love to talk about it because it's kind of weird. I was saying that your work, and I don't remember exactly the verbiage that I used, but I said that your work is obviously amazing and you're super talented, but that your work is so like joyful and expressive, but also like is like so wacky and almost like a creepy way at the same time. And I don't think I used the creepy. I don't know what the word I used, but I felt really bad. But then I was like, why should I feel bad? Like it's the way that I experience your art. Which I'm sure as an artist, I don't like. It's cool to hear other people's experiences with my art, but like the drippy goo sort of look, you know what I mean, on some of your pieces, or like the weird eye sockets. Like it's such an interesting feeling. Do you know what I mean? Is that? Oh wait, you're muted for some reason. I don't think I muted you. No, I can't hear you. Can you guys hear him?
Can you
Oh
hear
wait.
me?
Oh, now I can. Yeah.
Hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay, cool. I have this like that's the end of that chord's life, I think.
Okay.
I'll get more personal, up close and personal about
Perfect.
it. Yeah, so the yeah, I think you said it was like gross or gooey or something. I
I
don't
don't
remember.
remember what I
I
said.
heard it and I was like, that's amazing. And
I
then
think I
you
said
DM'd
yuck
me.
almost. Maybe I said yuck.
Yeah. It
Because
was
it
like yucky or something.
but not in a bad way. Like I can't explain it. It feels like you put like your like emotion into it somehow. Like it felt the colors seemed so happy and joyful, but then the actual piece, like if you extracted the color from it, it'd be like, oh, like kind of what is that movie that I watched when I was a kid? Um, I think it was Spy Kids, and I don't even remember exactly what part I'm thinking of, but they went into this weird world with these weird wonky people with the faces, like multiple faces. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I can't remember.
Okay, I'm gonna find a picture later and send it to
Yeah,
you.
will you share it with me?
Yeah, but what
Um,
do you think about that? I hope you're not offended by me saying that.
no, it was so amazing. And then you even like messaged me afterwards. You're like, "Was that all right?" And I was
I
like, "That's
know.
great. That's
Okay.
so cool." No, it is that's intentional. And it is like okay, so like I believe that in life there's only one guarantee, and that's suffering.
Hmm.
And we all suffer, and everybody suffers from something, from some addiction or obsession or whatever. And not to say obsessions are bad, there's good obsessions, like making art, or it can be like very good obsession. But like, everybody has a certain type of suffering. So I've been very fortunate in my life, and very, very much blessed in my life, and very much like focused and kind of meditated on this for, I'm in my mid 30s now. So it's like I worked on this for years and made art for years. And I do believe in suffering. And so I basically try and make sure like I'm suffering kind of like while
Hmm.
like I'll like stay in there for a long time, and I work, 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 and like even if you don't want to work, kind of like go work and work and work. And because I think it is important to kind of like like that kind of suffering is like very beautiful. Like it's a very beautiful way to suffer. It's not anything agony or terrible.
Yeah.
Like I did a residency with like um, Adobe, and they were like, "Did these tools make like your art easier to make?" And I was like, "I made my process like 10 times harder after like post Adobe. All my stuff is even harder to make than it was." And it was more like I just wanted to like take on the suffering like in immense amounts. As like I'll learn C4D, and that's when I started like finally like animating everything more and bring everything to life. As like because they were like, "Don't animate things, just like play with like getting it from medium into AR." And I was like, "No, I'll like learn to animate it, like I'll do everything." So that kind of like comes out in that. I think the other big part of it was like when I was a kid, my friend and I, we made a haunted house every year.
Hmm.
And we were obsessed with making a haunted house. Like this is all I thought we'd think about all year. Like, and then we got way into like Rob Zombie, and like like all of these like White Zombie, and then Rob Zombie, and like Marilyn Manson, and just like all of these like kind of icons of the time like that I grew up with. And we'd build a haunted house every year. I have a actually it's funny. Let's take a tour.
All
I
right.
have
I love
our
tours.
haunted house, one of our haunted house invites from the 90s
Oh my god. That's awesome.
that my mom mailed
I
to
can't believe
me.
you still have that.
My mom mailed it to me like a few weeks ago. She's like, "Do you want this? It's all like
You're like, yes.
come to this if you dare." And yeah, we'd build it in my neighbor's garage, and his parents wouldn't let us start until what was it? We couldn't start till the end of summer, until basically they like put their boat in there and they were done using their
Hmm.
garage. And so I think we could start what was it? It was like April or May we were allowed to start. Or no, it was like June. I think it was like June we were allowed to start. We'd go in there and plan, and like we were like buying trash bags, and we like mow lawns to like buy trash bags to build walls to like have this haunted house. We had like foam noodles that we'd like get up in the ceiling. We like hit people with the foam noodles and stuff. It was just madness. And like every year my sister would be like, I'm not going to be part of this. And then like every year we convince her, like, "You're going to be part of this. Here's your role. Like, here's where you are. Like, lay in this coffin that we built." Like, and
Lay
like,
in this
I don't know.
coffin.
I like
That's
built a
amazing.
coffin. And I lived in this really small town, and then I went to the department store and like bought that was going under because like Walmart came in and destroyed the town. And like
Oh
I
god.
went to the department store and was buying all the mannequins, and I was all spray painting. And I was like, this is like I was like in middle school. I was like, I don't know.
So you've been building and creating for a very long time since you were a kid, which is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever I was making all those paintings in Pueblo, I wasn't just making them just to sit there. Like I joined, so in Denver, Colorado at the time, it was like the biggest art walk, when like art walks were like all the rage. It was like 3,000 people would go through Santa Fe Art District. And so I joined a collective there because we wanted like this anti-gallery, and it was called the FU Collective, like letter
Awesome.
F, letter U. And there's like 12 of us, and we'd have an art show every month. So every month, like actually every 2 weeks, I'd go drive to Denver from Pueblo. It's like a 2-hour drive, and I swap out all my work. And it's like I like bought a credit card machine, like back before like you could take credit cards on a phone. But it's like a handheld machine, so it was like real slick. And I bought it like a printer, and I was making prints and everything. So I was like definitely hustling art back in the day. And
Yeah.
yeah, I just really like to make stuff. I like to like make people like be like, "What?"
Mhm.
I like really when I make art, I'm like, I hope this is the art that artists like. Like I don't really care if like other people like, and really like like out there collectors are
Yeah,
just like, whoa, like what?
totally.
So
No, I would
yeah,
love. I don't know if you can, but Agro mentioned. He said, "Can you share some of your work on screen?" I don't know if you have some of your work on your iPad that you said you might
which work,
show.
which like generation.
Anything that you'd love to show. I think that there are maybe some people that haven't seen your work before, or if people that have and you want to show them something a little bit more obscure, totally up to you.
All right,
I love your ceiling, by the way. I love this whole room. Is this your studio, this room?
this is my studio.
Okay,
It's
awesome.
6 feet, and I'm 6 foot two. Six
Oh,
feet by like 20 feet. It's one of my artworks. This
that's
is Joy Vision.
wow.
And when I put these on, I see pure joy, pure yellow.
I love that.
Is that a good one?
Yes. Um, Ronan
This
Jin
is
said your space is awesome.
this is my outer space vodka. It's from outer space. I bought it in Las Vegas, so it's legitimately from outer space.
Okay, yeah,
When we
totally.
went to meet Amber's new grandpa, because Amber's mom was adopted, and then we just finally met her original grandpa,
Oh,
and then
cool.
and he wanted to drink beers, so I bought this though when I went with him because I don't know, I like to have fun. I made this.
And what did he think? Was he very into it? Very. That looks very joy.
He had fun. We were laughing so much.
What is that made out of? Clay?
This is super sculpting.
Okay.
We're having a physical art show.
I love that. That's
I
awesome. It
I
reminds
bought
me of
this
Package House
knockoff.
episode.
I bought this knockoff Gudetama,
Aww.
and then I repainted his face really terribly, and
Yeah.
then
No, it's
I got a gig making a thing with Gudetama that I just did because I was like, well, I have the Gudetama, and then
no way.
my friend was like, please do this, and I was like, okay.
That's
So then
awesome.
we made like a Gudetama party inside the Museum of Other Realities. And so like Gudetama is on a stage and he's like DJing and he's hanging from these chains. And then you go in, when you teleport in there, there's you're inside a frying pan. So it's a party
Okay.
inside a frying pan.
That's so cool.
And then all the people in the party are just like just dancing on their heads. And then they have like
I
burned
would
hands
love to
and their
see
bodies
that.
are fire. Yeah.
That is really cool.
I didn't share it enough because I always don't share enough, but yeah, I should post it up again. But you can still go there, and I have invite codes if anybody wants them.
Where
Just
is it?
message.
Is it a VR chat?
It's the Museum of Other Realities is a thing that was built a few years ago. So it's a museum in virtual reality where everything in there is made by virtual reality artists. So everything's made in Tilt
Oh.
Brush, Medium, Gravity Sketch.
Can I go in a quest or no?
No, not yet. They're building for Quest still.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really heavy. Lots of stuff in there.
But I can go on my PC.
That's where I put some of the first desire, like the desire one that's like the hot dog and then
Oh, yeah.
chasing the hamburger is in there.
Can you go in on your PC?
Yeah, it's PC.
Okay. Okay.
And
Well then, yeah.
and you have to pay for it still, but if anybody wants an invite code, and they're trying to like learn about crypto lately, so they
No way.
might be in this like because they want to like get into like having an actual like auction and stuff inside of there.
That sounds epic. I would love that.
Yeah, so like I met with them, I was like, go for it. I'm just
Yeah.
always like, make stuff. Especially
Yeah.
like this. I'm like so happy to see so many artists coming into this. Because we were like from the old school, we're like, I hope this works. And like I think you were probably thinking the same, like, I hope lots of artists come do this and then
Oh,
like
yeah.
make a living doing it. And there's like less like corporate art being made and way more like artist art being made.
Totally. And I've been trying to get some more local artists, at least from around me, or even some Instagram artists that I love and follow into the space. It's been a little bit more difficult just because they're like, this seems weird and like it's almost like too hard to believe kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a whole nother story. I would love to learn if you're open to sharing how you ventured into tokenizing your works.
Yeah, definitely. So it started, I saw Ethereum like way back when and saw like a lot of the blockchain stuff. I was like, this is cool. Like it's a digital thing that has value. And I was like, that could be like digital art because I was still in the obsession of like, I like things. I think there's real beauty in things in rarity. and
Mm.
like authentic things, and like knowing a thing is an authentic thing is like a really beautiful thing, and like
Oh
you
yeah.
share a connection with like the creator of it. um so I was very much like into that idea, and then CryptoKitties came out in like 2017, and I was like buying cats like nuts.
Yeah, same.
And yeah, I think that
And
taught us all
breeding
like
them.
MetaMask, yeah, and breeding them, trying to
Yeah.
buy all the otaku cats, trying to buy all the dolly cats, like just going nuts. And like, yeah, spending way too much money buying Ethereum, like just being so freaking confused, but like trying to get in as fast as possible. Like it was just so fun. And they made it so cool, and just like it seemed so easy, and it seemed like, you know, a rare actual thing. And to me it was just like I just wanted to try it because I just knew like this, they're selling art now, like it's a rare thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like now how do we get to the like actual like individual artists selling art? um and I started like getting into a bunch of discords and chatting with a bunch of people. I met Devin from OpenSea, and I had a meeting with him like way early before there was stuff on OpenSea, and we like met at Blue Bottle Coffee in SF, and he was gonna mint all the joys for me there before they were like joys. I was like, "Can we mint my artwork?" And he's like, "Yes." And at the same time, there was these games coming out called Hot Potatoes, and people were flipping like Picassos and Van Goghs, and like like people are flipping traditional art. And I really love this concept more than the actual just putting stuff up as for an auction,
Yeah.
because what I thought it was doing was, I like the idea. I was like, I'm not really known artist. Like it would be amazing. It's amazing if somebody can buy something for $1 and they're almost guaranteed they're gonna make $2, and the
Yeah.
next person's guaranteed to make, you know, $4. And so it's almost like the mechanic built in a guarantee almost, but then somebody ended up, you know, holding the bag at the
Yeah.
end,
No,
and then they
totally.
couldn't like resell it, they couldn't relist it or anything like that. So but I was just fascinated with that concept. And then I was meeting with a bunch of different people in the Bay. I met with um there was another company, but it ended up going under recently. And like I was meeting with a lot of different ones that were like, let's mint your thing, because I met these individuals, and I thought they would engineer a thing for me, because I was like, decentralization is the chance for an artist to be independent, like free of platforms, free of Facebook, free of Instagram. You don't need to be a part of a platform. You can just go out and sell stuff in an open market. And
Yeah.
to me, I was like, that's the shit. Like that's what I wanted, full control, like no central person.
Yep.
And so I built this marketplace, all these things, and we ended up doing over the course of like a year or so, we ended up having 82 joys on there, and they ended up being traded 1,400 and sometimes.
Yeah. I
And I was
saw
like,
something crazy like that when I was reading, pretty sure a Zima Red article, and I was like, holy shit, that's
it
so
was
cool.
nuts. I think a lot of people made money. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
And
Yeah.
what I did was I would sell it for $1, and I would only make a percentage. I'd make 10% of every transaction. I didn't make any money, so like
Right.
it was like us giving away. I sell it for $1 because I just thought it was funny. Like as a kid, I liked those machines. You put a quarter in and like win a thing, and like I don't know. That's like a whole nother thing. But I like the idea of just like rewarding people and stuff. It's just really fun. People get
Yeah.
excited.
No, I love that. And I think that's really special and unique because um, for me personally, I really connect with the being, not on a platform, or at least if choosing different platforms for different reasons is totally awesome and totally amazing. And they each do different things, but also having the freedom to be able to do your own, I think is, yeah, that's what it is. It's freeing. It's freedom. It's you're your
Yeah.
own artist, your own. It just has so many things that match the ethos of crypto, but also, I mean, just that idea of rewarding your collectors as well, I think is super special and super important to me. And I know that it's really important to you, especially how you set this up early on. Um, I think that some artists start to forget that a little bit later on, which is
Mm.
really interesting. And I would love to see more artists figuring out how to continue to reward their collectors even when they're a lot larger. And I mean, we can get creative. There's so many different ways, It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be discounts. It doesn't have to be, it could be giving a small wearable or giving, like, doing some sort of cool thing. But I really think that's such a cool thing for an artist to be passionate about. And it is so important because our collectors at the end of the day are people that follow us because they connect with our work on
Yeah.
such a deeper level. To think about all of the time and energy and like your life that you're pouring into something, and then to have someone like truly enjoy it where they want to like purchase it from you and hang it in their digital frame or their virtual space or wear it on a shirt or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, God, that like makes my day. You know what I mean? And I'm sure it's the same for you. So I think that's so interesting, and especially with the technology that we're all working in now. I would love like just to see more creativity in that realm for myself even too. It's just like thinking of these sort of things, but I think that is so
Yeah.
special that is really important to you.
Yeah, and I think what's so cool is just by making art and putting it on the blockchain and making it available for them to buy, we kind of already like rewarded them in a way,
Yeah.
because like we've given them an asset that might, go up in insane value, and has like keeps being
Yeah.
proven to go up insane value. But and I do so, but I do keep thinking also about like how do you like there's so many people who love like my art and your art, like how do we get it to everybody is like
Yeah.
the challenging thing,
It is
without
really
like just
challenging.
without just saying okay here's everything, because then it's like,
Right.
well then nothing's like special anymore. So
100% agreed. That's why, even like I said, even for me, I would love to challenge myself to be more creative in that realm.
yeah,
And
same.
like you said, definitely not just like giving things away, but having some sort of like proof of work or proof of collector. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
not necessarily someone who is your biggest collector ever. Or maybe even they haven't collected anything yet because they can't afford the prices anymore. But having
Yeah.
some way to show that they've worked towards it, and like proof of whatever, proof of interest. I don't know. I just think it's such a
Yeah.
cool, interesting thing that like we can play with now with all this technology built into it. But
For
anyways, that
sure.
was a side rant. I would love. Do you have any of your um, NFTs that you can show on your iPad? And I would love for you to talk
Yeah.
about when you switched over your contract from this sort of like hot potato setup to what you have now.
Sure. Yeah, so it's funny. I mean, it's not immediately obvious to people, and the stories are a little more obscure. But every joy actually has a complete, absolute, like important meaning to me,
Yeah.
and also tells the story. So you're talking about rewarding collectors, and that's the funny thing that slowly has happened is because I've always been like, this is a great way for artists to like make art without a corporation or someone guiding them. And now actually the collectors are guiding me. And
Oh,
I,
really?
I've noticed that more and more. And I'm like, I think that's kind of maybe subconsciously where it's like I go into the sea of joy because we have like collectors right now who are most active seem to be Whale Shark and Manta. And so I was like, really just like, I can't like almost every day, like if like when bids and stuff come through, it's like the first thing I wake up and I'm like, wow, Whale Shark bid on this thing and Satman did this and like Devils did this, and like these people have become such a like integrated part of my life. It's hard to separate them now from the actual creative process. um
Interesting.
so like the first joy, like you see, is me, and that's like original joy.
Oh, yeah. I like that
Forward
one.
focus. Yeah. And then so like Joybot was made to help me like build Joy World, and like Charge was the energy to like make it all go. Tongues Out, Funds Out is all about like it should always be about fun. Like hang your tongue out and like let's roll.
Yep.
And then like we had the Genega and Ganesh because almost dropped it. Because I have my Ganesh here, which I've had for years and years and years,
Oh, I love that.
which is all about like creativity and like work and like like sacrifice. And I like I kind of try and think in like a non-attachment way, and just like gonna just like I'm making this is just there's meditation, and there's like making art, and like that's enough,
Right.
that's enough
Right.
stuff. um and so yeah, so Hello Kitty or Hello Joy is like the Hello Kitty because about it's about it kind of like started to turn more about like what culture was. And I was thinking about like something that's iconic, like sculptural, that's everywhere, because I like to think of like how could joy be like a virus and be like everywhere, like how can we make
Yeah.
joy a virus. And like so I started thinking about like culture, and so that's why like Hello Joy was made. um And so yeah, I go through like this whole process. Like there's like a Ninja Turtle because that was like something I was obsessed over as a child. And then I later learned Ninja Turtles were made in a way where they made the style of the Ninja Turtles, and then they made the show and everything to advertise them. And
Oh,
so and actually the whole thing was designed to be the product first, just the toys. Like we got
no
to sell these
way.
action figures, so they made the whole show. Everything is just
What?
to sell the action figure.
That is so bizarre.
And so that's the way joys are made. Like everything's a show, and there's so much like I could tokenize all of these pictures and movies, couldn't I, and probably make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just like, well, like this is everything. You have this, and it's part of every show. Like that's kind of like a Ninja Turtle. Could you own like Raphael, and then like
Right.
in the show, it's like, well, I have the real Raphael.
That's
um,
so interesting. Have you tokenized can't even speak. Have you tokenized all of these early ones or no?
yeah, every joy is tokenized.
Okay.
So these were all in the first contract. Um, there was another fun one I wanted to mention, but there's so many fun ones. Each one has a story. So
And they're all one of ones, right? Sorry to cut you off.
everyone's a 101. I
Okay.
haven't made an edition yet, but I am considering making an edition to kind of like reach more people. If people are
Yeah.
interested in editions,
I think
put a
editions
note
are
out.
awesome. I
Awesome.
vote yes for editions, but I'm also
Nice.
biased.
I'll try and convince myself. I really am. I'm a control freak and obsessive compulsive. If you can't tell by like what I do. Oh, I wish I. There's one that's the Crypto Kitty one. That I
Oh,
really
I
like.
don't know if I've seen that one. Connie said interested in editions.
Cool.
Got another vote.
Oh, where's my Crypto Kitty? So there's one because I wanted to tell part of the story. Oh yeah, so like Crypto Kitty making me.
Oh my god, that one is so cool. I've
So you
never
see,
seen that.
it's pregnant with me,
Yeah. That
and
see,
so
this is so freaking weird, Joy. But I love it. It's like this is so weird. You thought of okay, I want a crypto kitty to be pregnant with an embryo with a friggin' fetus that looks like Joy. Do you
this
realize
was
how weird that is?
no, it's not weird because it.
But
I
it's
wanted
amazing.
I wanted a joy that really captured the feeling I was having that without CryptoKitties existing, because the first Joy
Ah,
contract was basically their contract with a piece of it removed that makes it an ERC21, which made a lot of people kind of mad at me, but it locked it into my own like marketplace. You couldn't
yeah.
trade it anywhere else. I feel like people hated me when I was doing that, and other people loved it. But CryptoKitty making was about that. Like I couldn't exist in this format without CryptoKitty. So it's almost like this is the
Okay.
precursor to original Joy.
That's really cool. Yeah, no, I
And
love
then
that.
there's obscure ones, so probably barely anyone remembers this. So this is Shrimp God,
Okay. Oh,
and
that's a
Shrimp
cool
God's
one.
making all these little smileys.
Yeah.
And Shrimp God's
I
big.
love his painted back.
There's me at the beach with Shrimp God.
Oh my gosh, I love. See, those are the pictures that you do with this like mixed reality. I'm so obsessed with them, and I'm
Nice.
so confused how you make that happen if it's not just Photoshop, and I love them.
It's Adobe Dimension was what I used to use.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, try it out. You'll have fun.
Okay.
You can do a lot with it. It's surprising. Oh yeah, so after all of that happened, so the Shrimp God. The Shrimp God was made because there used to be a game called Shrimp Farmer, and it was an early crypto game too. And there was another one called World of Goo, and that's where Super Smiley Slime or Smooper, the Smiley Slime comes from.
Okay.
Was World of Goo. So these are both crypto games. Because so in this early date, I have lots of crypto addresses. I actually like buy stuff everywhere, but
I love that.
um, I in the early days I played like I don't know. I thought I played like 200 or some games. I was so proud of it. And then I met what's his name? The guy CEO from Dapp.com. He had played like 2,000 games or something. I was like, okay, never mind. But I was
Yeah.
playing like Shrimp Farmer and World of Goo and all these things. But Shrimp Farmer was you could buy a shrimp for like a very small transaction fee, and then your shrimp is a time-based game. As time went by, your shrimp made eggs, and then you could sell those eggs, or you could hatch those eggs, and then you could like make more shrimp,
Okay.
and then you sell those eggs. It was all Ethereum based, so lots of people made a lot of money off of these. There are like different types of pyramids, but I mean, even corporations are pyramids. And so, anyways, yeah, I played lots of these games, and I think a lot of this early stuff was about being inspired about that. So there's also like this guy,
I like
of
that guy.
course.
There's something it
Yeah.
reminds me
Um,
of.
yeah, and then I remember, so Paul, who I was talking about earlier, made a company called Super Plastic. At the same time I was building this, and I drew some stuff for him,
Oh yeah, I know Super Plastic. That's a
and then he was like, "Do you want to come work on this?" And I was kind of like, "No," but then I made this like one kind of like to remember that time period.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
cool.
like a
I like
janky.
that one.
I call it the future of plastic is super kind of
Oh,
like
I
this
love that.
like well because I love Paul, and he's always like, "Do you want to do this thing with me?" And I'm always like, "I just want to make my art." Like focus on this. So
I just pulled up what your frog kind of reminded me of.
okay.
Um,
Let's check it
have you
out.
guys ever seen? I grew up with two VHSs, and
Nice,
I'd watch
yeah.
them on repeat. And one of them was Thumbelina. Have you seen that?
I think I have. I think my
I
sister
don't
had
know if you can.
Thumbelina.
I don't
Pull
know
it
if you
way
can
close to the
see.
camera, then back out.
You
Yeah,
see that?
yep, yep.
Kind of reminds me of that. And then I'm gonna
Definitely
also show
inspired
you
by that.
my other. Keep going through your stuff. I'll show you when it comes up because I was gonna show you this other Spy Kids thing. Let's see if I can find it.
Okay, so I'll fill in from while you search. So this was the last Joy made in the original contract is Berserk.
Oh, I've never seen that one. Oh my god, that
And
one is really cool. That kind of breaks the aesthetic that you normally have with the ones prior.
it does. My dog died, and I got
Oh,
so sad. And I never understood why people got sad when dogs died. I almost to cry now, and that was like forever ago.
they're
But
best friends. Yeah.
I know, I got so depressed, and that I said that froze Joy World, and I
Oh,
was like, that's it for Joy World for now.
what's the
So
name of that piece?
Berserk.
Berserk. Oh,
So
that's a
Berserk,
super special piece.
yeah, Devil owns this.
Oh no way.
Yeah, I like that Devil owns it. So yeah, Berserk froze the creation of Joys. And like at that time, so what had happened also is everyone started making wallets. And I was like, I don't know how to support all these wallets. And like so much stuff was broken on my site, and all the wallets had like updated and changed. And I was trying to maintain code, and I think I was programming for like 8 hours a day. And then I would make art for like 3 or 4 hours, like towards the end of the day. Like all like any creativity time I had went into programming and just trying to maintain the old contract. And that was when Devil had reached out, and he's like, that's why I went into that rant about Devil. I was like, is Devil me?
Yeah.
Definitely
I
not
love
me.
that by the way. That's amazing.
But yeah, Devil was like, just move this stuff, like you can migrate, you can fork it. And I think it might be the first time somebody's forked art on the blockchain. Um,
Possibly.
yeah, and we
I don't
forked
know.
it, and like Jim came in because Jim was like, I've always in interest in this, but you didn't have ownership. Because Jim's always
Jim
about
with
like,
all of his
what's the next
opinions.
thing, like push this
Yeah.
forward. So I think that's really rad, and I was just like, yeah, like Jim came in and was like, yeah, like push this. And so yeah, it was really great. Lots of new collectors came in, and like it raised the value like a lot. I kind of was worried everyone was just gonna be mad at me, like, why'd you break this thing? And like, because I
No.
actually like froze the old contracts, so those old joys are still like there, but they're stuck in those addresses.
Yeah.
They can't be removed.
That's kind of cool though. Imagine, I mean, already it's sort of this like antique piece, like or
Yeah.
vintage piece, and imagine a few years from now how special that is. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And your community, especially this community in general, but especially your community is very very supportive. Like when I don't often get to be super active in a ton of discords because I feel like my mind is everywhere. But when I do come to your Discord and I just see, what everyone's chatting about, um, everyone is super super supportive of what you're doing and they trust you because here's the thing, you have been so consistent in your brand and your message and what you've been doing and so genuine from the beginning that if you think that something is the right choice, like your collectors completely trust in you that it's the right choice. You know what I mean? Of course, you'll get people here and there like, that was dumb. Why'd you do that? But like
Yeah.
overall, it's amazing that you've built that reputation and you've just always been so genuine. So I don't think you're ever gonna have a problem if you need to switch things
Thank you,
up if you think
Josie.
it's the right
That's nice
thing.
to hear.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
really.
thank you.
Um,
Y-
by the way, I found the
Yeah,
Spy Kids things,
let's
and
see
they're
it.
way creepier than I remember. So I'm like, how is this in a kids movie? So I guess your work doesn't exactly remind me of these because they're
It's a
way
vibe.
creepier than I thought. So there's a couple. Oh God, if you don't be offended by this because I take it back now because these are creepier than I remember. But this is like a kids movie, so I'm like, why is it so creepy? So I'll go close first, right? Let me
Whoa.
block my light. Can you even see this?
Yes. I saw the outline of it in the teeth. I
Okay,
think I
wait, no,
see
the
like a
outline's even
why am I trying
creepier.
to do this? Like it's gonna help. Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
that's even creepier than I remember. And then there's this other one. I'm just gonna show this to you.
yeah, so
So
joys
I
are always
take it back.
smiling like that, right?
I know, and
They're-
then there's this other one with the many faces.
Whoa.
So sort of weird, but like this like
Trippy.
twisted and like the big smiles and the like
Yeah.
weird. Anyways, your work doesn't exactly remind me of that, but I had this weird, and I hadn't ever seen them since I've seen that movie since I was a kid. But I had this weird memory thing, so just had to bring that
I
up.
like that.
Anyways, that was random. Um,
No, yeah, that definitely reminds me of it too. Like joys are always like smiling like that too and have the big mouth.
yeah, like
And
big
they're
smile, but also like, wait, what's going
agonizing.
on underneath that smile kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And that's like intentional. It's kind of about like the duality. Like when you're a kid, like you kind of had like, well, at least I did, had a very like single mind, kind of like, hey, I'm having fun now, and now I'm like playing in the creek, or now like I'm playing. I collected a bunch of stuff and I had piles of stuff in my room. I was always like in trouble to
Really?
clean my room. Piles of stuff, just nut. I would collect everything. It
Like
was insane.
collecting stuff from outside or just like anything,
Outside
like
screws,
coins,
bolts, stuff
like
like that.
okay,
And then my
okay.
parents say we had all kinds of art supplies, but I would always just like go steal like the silver spray paint and go spray paint everything silver, like
That's
just
so funny.
like have it in drawers and like I caught a fish like in the creek once and I kept it like underneath the clawfoot bathtub and no one knew about it.
Oh my
I kept it for like 2 days and then I let
They
it
were like,
go.
what?
I don't
They
know
were
what I was
like, what is
doing.
this? That's
They found a
crazy.
fish. I know my parents always tell me like we found like a fish tank in your room once with like a wad of chewed gum like this big, like inside like a fish tank.
Okay,
Just
that is so funny.
just weird stuff. Like yeah, that was me as a kid.
That's amazing. I mean, you were super, super creative. So your dad is I think I've seen his website, is a sculptor, correct? Or like he's a
Yeah,
sculptor, right?
yeah, he's like a wildlife artist. So he does oil painting and then lost wax bronze casting.
Okay. And
He's
then
very
what,
obsessed with like that's the traditional kind of bronze work process where you do work in wax and then you cast it and then you pour that out and then you make a mold and you pour it in bronze and break that mold kind of thing. Do
okay.
patinas and all that stuff. He is very obsessed with like accuracy and like perfection and like detailing. He's very obsessed with detailing the hair. Like, and I was like, maybe you could hire people to help you or something because he's getting very old. And he's like, no,
It's like,
like only
no.
I know the hair pattern of this of like a white-tailed deer, and I'm the best at
That's
this pattern.
amazing. Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
then what
he's
is
still
your
doing it.
mom you said your mom is also an artist?
Yeah, my mom's so she does some school teaching and stuff, and then she's retired from that. And like within that, she does like a lot of word working and stuff, and then she built a lot of his bases and stuff for his pieces and different things like that.
So what do they think? I mean, they do physical, building with their hands. What do they think of like your virtual 3D building?
I think
Did
they
they
think
think it
it's
was
really
crazy?
great.
Okay.
I don't think they fully grasp it. And my dad, like when I'll talk to him about what I'm doing and about auctions and art and stuff, he's always like for excited. He's like, dollars?
You're
ETH
like,
or
yeah.
F dollars?
Yeah.
Ethereum? Like, he's like, no way. And then like sometimes he'll pitch me like, hey, like people like bears, like we should do a series of bears, like
That'd be
drop.
cool.
So he's always like trying to pitch me like maybe we should do something together kind of thing.
Dude, that'd be
So
awesome. That's so
I
cool.
know Jim saying he wanted him to tokenize it. And,
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, why not?
I
Give
called him and I was like, dude, Jim wants you to tokenize your
then you
work.
gotta do it. If Jim
And Jim
says
knows.
it, you gotta do it.
Yeah, I was like, gotta do it, Dad.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. AgroCat said Um, Thanks for joining. He's got a bolt, but before that, he said he won't sleep tonight because of those pictures I showed. But he also said he's super excited to get more familiar with your work.
Wow, thank you so much.
And it's very interesting and emotional, and I totally agree.
Awesome.
If you guys have some questions in the chat that you'd like to ask Joy, feel free and ask them, and I'll ask them live and get all of your questions answered while we continue to chat. But I always like to give people the opportunity because sometimes there's like amazing questions that I would never think to ask, and I'm like, that's awesome. So feel free and drop any in the chat here. But
do you want a tour of my space?
I would love. Tours are like Skinny and Hackatow. I think those. Who else? Oh, and Alada gave or Money. He prefers to go by Money. I need to keep remembering that.
Yeah, Money. I remember from the show.
And they were just. I love the tours. I would love a tour.
Let's get a tour.
Okay.
This is the Joy World office. This is where I do the call from. And this is my little iPad. And
nice.
This I do when I have to work on a computer. I don't like to work on the computer, so I work on the iPad.
And you just like draw different ideas?
I jump into my PC using this app.
Oh,
and now
cool.
And now I'm in, this is top secret. This is one of the next Joys coming out.
Okay, that is really
That was the wheel
awesome.
I was making. And so that's my PC right now. And it's a slightly sluggish, but I just like it better.
Yeah, I need you to teach me how to do that, by the way. But...
Yeah, it's like just one that like a little like $14 app or something. So this is the space that I stand, and this is the ceiling. It's real low.
Yeah, that is pretty low for you.
And then this says Joy World. Joy World. That's where all the joys come from, and then into my mind, and then into our reality.
Do you work when you're building these joys in 3D? Do you always work in this room?
Sometimes I work in the living room.
Okay.
It depends on what I'm making. So I have this PC. This is the PC I built after I found out about VR.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's a little PC. It's my hand.
I'm obsessed that it's yellow and it has your little joy.
I spray painted it yellow. Yeah. Oh yeah, it has me on it. Look.
Yep. That's so cool. And your keyboard is yellow?
Yeah. And then here's my let's go inside of my computer.
Okay.
It's got an old GTX 1080. It's all dusty in there.
That is awesome.
That's what renders everything, and most of the VR stuff that I make in there. And so I built this
yellow Apple Watch. Just saw that.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Hey, I'm on this Mac I don't use. It's all clumsy. So this is my Joy World. This is the Joy World
War room. I love that.
This is my favorite tool. Is the saw that I use to make stuff with.
You actually use that big saw
to
make
umbrella because I live in Portland.
Yeah.
So anytime I need to saw stuff, so I made this shelf out. I made this shelf out of part of this desk before I sawed this desk in half and made it a skinny desk because my space is tiny.
Yep, fair. It looks actually bigger now that you're standing up and showing it. So
yeah,
you have multiple
it's
of
pretty
these
big, and I have a Joy World river raft.
Just in case you bump your head, you'll bump it on that instead.
I hit this every time.
Cool. Wait, did you just write that on there, or is this actually?
I wrote it on there.
Okay, I was like, is this printed?
So weird thing, we moved to Portland after SF for fun, and because we've never been here and it seemed fun, and everyone here just gives stuff away. So almost everything in this office I found. So we just gave everything away in SF, and I found this, and I found this drum, and it totally works.
Love it.
And what else
did I find?
Oh, these are made out of Amazon packaging.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, this is something I made. This is it is gonna be a giant lemon.
It looks like a giant lemon.
It's a paper mache balloon.
Love it.
That I made. And then, so this is my computer. This is the interface I don't really like to use, but I use sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a little touchscreen thingy from China. This is alt keyboard.
Love it. I also like that your keyboard is yellow.
Nice chunky keyboard. It's
Very
got
on
yellow
theme.
keys on it. Yeah. This thing I plug into the PC
Okay.
usually, and it makes the PC think there's a monitor plugged into it, and then that way you don't have to waste electricity on that. This is my fancy chair.
Did you paint it?
Yeah.
I think I have that chair in my living room actually.
It's a work in progress. It's a Herman Miller. It's so fancy.
Yeah. That's awesome.
There's a jawbreaker. I just haven't heard.
A jawbreaker. Do you actually eat those?
No, it's just to make me salivate and to like. It's good to be hungry when you're making art. Yeah. You want to be hungry and like ah.
I love that.
I found this skull somebody gave away, but it was so sad. I painted it yellow and I keep trying to change it. It's making me sad though. I found this $100 bill.
No way.
It's lucky.
That's pretty amazing.
I found it right when I was changing the contract and it was super magical. And then I have this that says, only you can change your life. No one can do it for you.
I love that. I always get the worst fortunes ever. Not even like they're bad fortunes. Like they literally are a sentence that doesn't make sense. I'm not even kidding. I have pictures of them. I should post
They're just all phrases. Yeah.
No. It's like not even, it's not cohesive. Like it literally, like they didn't.
Just a jumble?
It doesn't make sense. And I'm like, how do I always get these? But anyway.
They're like the titles of future pieces maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe you need to like unjumble them or.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
Something there. Some magic.
I love how positive you're making that.
These are horses I found.
Yeah, you have horses on the other wall as well.
Yeah, so they're joy horses. I converted them.
Oh, cool.
Converted to joy horse. Super speed. Got Legos because every time it was Christmas, I'd shake every package and I say, it's got to be Legos. Is this Legos?
Did you play with Legos a lot growing up?
A lot, yeah.
Okay.
I was obsessed with Legos, but I didn't like making the kits. I like to disassemble.
Make your own. And did you have Ronan Jin in the chat said multiple VR headsets? Do you have all your headsets hanging up on that wall over there?
Yeah. So there's my floor. This is a round yellow rug, and it doesn't fit, so I nailed it up to the wall.
That works.
This is the top secret plan.
Okay. That's how you're going to rule the world?
That's the ending of Sea of Joy, and then we'll go up and we'll go to Joy Farms.
Okay. I love that.
And then it wore out this floor, so I took the middle out. And then, oh yeah, the VR headsets. So this is my main VR headset. And
yeah, I love that one. You were wearing that on the live stream.
This is a Rift, what is it, Rift S?
Okay.
And I painted it. And the reason the Rift S is really good for like sculpting and stuff is if you have to use medium, because that's why I would recommend it. So you have to use medium because this is the only one you can use it with. This and the other one, the Quest.
Okay.
But this has a halo heads wrap thing.
That's
nice. way more comfortable. It's like wearing a hat.
Yeah. No, that's
And then I customized it, and my nieces glued eyes on it.
Aww.
When I sent them in VR and we hung out.
That's awesome.
So there's that, and then this is I have a Quest, which I'm using more for prototyping and trying to build experiences with the joys in here.
You haven't painted your Quest yet.
No, I haven't, because I don't feel committed to it, because I saw like glimpses of the Quest 2, and I'm like, I might like give this away or like sell it or something.
Fair.
But I do have like a box for the Quest that I painted by dropping things.
Oh, nice.
It's half painted, lazy painted. And then I have a little 3D printer.
Oh, cool. Do you get to use that often?
I don't use it a lot. I had 2 3D printers when I was in Vermont because I was trying to build like, solo wheels where you like have a solo wheel. And it's you've seen those, right? The electric unicycle?
Yep, I've seen those. I don't know how people ride them.
I know. No, they're really easy. So when I was in Vermont and I was making bikes, like in the evening, I like started another company called Le Pen, which is like French for rabbit. And I was trying to build like a solo wheel that was like the size of like an umbrella that folds up.
Oh,
Like
that
the
would be
idea that
epic.
you would just like carry, like I was thinking like once you have glasses that are like AR, like what's like the thing in your pocket? It should be like a little vehicle was like my concept.
Yeah,
And I
very like Inspector Gadget kind of.
yeah, yeah, and I think the furthest I got, I had a prototype by the time I went to SF, and it was made out of like a suitcase handle, and it'd like fold up, and you like unfold it, and then like ride down the street, real like real slow.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I had a 3D printer for that, and then I got rid of those 3D printers. I just gave them to like Goodwill or somewhere, and then I randomly bought a 3D printer again because a lot of people were talking about like you should print the joys. So I like printed some,
Oh, cool.
but these are really badly painted. Don't judge me.
No, I can't tell from the screen. They look great.
Nice. I love the webcam blur.
Yeah.
Can't see I'm sweating. That fan
Oh,
anymore.
that's cool.
There's
I like that
Mad
one.
Joy.
I
Mad
want a
Joy.
3D printer. Now you're making me think I really want one.
They're really kind of fun. Here's Joybot's head.
Love that. Those are really cool.
They're
You
kind of
could,
yeah, they're cool,
you should
but
sell
they
those and
break.
put them in the those you were talking about those 25 cent. What are those called?
Oh yeah, the little cranky machines.
Yeah, you should put them in those little bottles.
This one
Oh, they
broke.
break.
They break. See,
That is
so
kind of
they're
sad.
kind of. I really so like with the bike company, we were real obsessed with like delivering this great experience, and like we'd ship your bike to like a bike shop, and like have them put it together for you, so you wouldn't have to do anything, and like, try and do all these like special things. I've been really like ingrained in that, like trying to always do the best experience possible. And that's why sometimes I'm real slow to like do a thing. Like I'm definitely working on some platform things. I've like evolved my thinking on like platforms and putting art more places, but
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I won't release it till it's like until I'm a whoa, like I made
Yeah.
that. Oh my god, I made that.
I want to talk to you about that because I'm also. It's interesting that you just said you're evolving your thinking on releasing on different platforms. Off channel, I'd love to chat with you about it, and I
Yeah,
can chat a different time with everyone here. But I think that's interesting, and I've been thinking about it a lot lately, so we should connect on
cool.
that.
Yeah, let's
Um,
talk.
yeah, that's so cool. I love that all of you're bringing these 3D objects that you make that are so intricate and have so much story, and you're animating in VR into real life. I think that's really cool and exciting, and to have something physical to collect, um, that potentially it's connected to your NFT somehow. Like that would just be so epic.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's something I play with and think about a lot. Yeah, shipping real stuff is really can be challenging,
Oh, tell
and
me
like
about it.
making like a real full like experience, is just very much like it's a commitment. And yeah, I did make some clothes, and I was kind of doing it through like a fulfillment service,
Hmm.
but that to me didn't really reach the like some a lot of the, like I was shipping pins also, like that pin you saw on my stuff. So like those I made, and like I'd ship from my house. I'd like make the packaging every time like out of cardboard, like write all kinds of crazy messages about the future stuff on it, and then like
That's
send it
so
out.
cool.
But yeah, it's a lot to do and to like try and provide a good experience. So I kind of like shut that for now. I love like Unisocks and like what else going on like with those kind of concepts.
Yeah.
A lot there. I'm gonna
You're
open
always
my
just on
door.
like the cutting edge
Sweating.
of all of this. I just love it.
Ah, I'm sweating in here, guys.
Oh, you open your door to get some air?
Yeah.
I bet. I mean, you've been in this room for an hour and a half, and you're probably just like recycling your own breath at this
Yeah.
point.
I like shut the door for the tour because that's my bedroom right there.
Oh, this is like a little extra closet in your room. Like, are you on
Yeah,
the top floor? Is this like your attic area, kind of?
yeah, it's like out my window. It's
Oh,
right
nice.
out. Um,
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, it's like a little closet. It's like we're in like a 700 square foot house. Like we used to do like that house cleaning thing, so we like clean like mansions and stuff, and we were
Mm-hmm.
always just like, no way, like we would never want that.
Oh
Like
my
we'd rather
god.
just have like a nice thing that's like easy to
Cozy.
maintain. So, yeah.
Yeah,
And so like what's cool with VR, I have infinite space. I like sit here and I'm like, you know,
totally.
I'm
Well,
just out there in the metaverse.
I think that's so like, especially with obviously what's going on in the world right now and what's going on in the market right now, and We've actually been looking for a place to purchase,
Cool.
and for the first time, we've rented forever, but it's such an interesting market in learning about what's going on right now. And this is just sort of a side tangent, but it makes me really, really excited about VR
Yeah.
because people are going to be working from home. People are going to
Yeah.
be in VR spaces, working virtually with people. And I already think because of what's going on with the pandemic and everything, people are learning to appreciate different things than they appreciated before. And it's just such a different experience, and I think it's changing a lot of things. And I'm not saying that we're 3 years further than we should have been within VR or anything like that, but I just think that people are starting to appreciate different things. And I also know that people are kind of moving like out of the cities and into the suburbs and want to be with their family and friends. And I honestly think VR can be an extension of that.
Absolutely.
And visiting people, just how Facebook, people are like, oh, I don't really use Facebook, but I can connect with all of my high school and college friends, so that's why I have it, or my family that lives out of state, so that's why I have it. Like,
Yeah.
I see VR being that, like, oh, like maybe like, oh, I don't use VR for work, but I have it so I can connect with all my friends and I can go to these meetups or like have virtual drinks or like whatever it is. Like, I just think it's so interesting. So even you're like, oh, I live in a 700 square foot place, which isn't massive, but you have this space in your house where you can go and just like enjoy VR and like you said, be in this like infinite space is
Yeah.
such a cool concept that I think more and more people are going to be exploring, which is super exciting. I mean, especially for us people who are really interested in it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you're right. It's really accelerated everything. Like I feel like a lot more people, like with COVID and everything, a lot more people
Mm-hmm.
are interested in like remote connection and like a deep remote connection. And
Totally.
once you experience VR and have social experiences in there, you do realize it's a pretty deep experience. It can go really deep. Um, and it's really interesting. I think it did accelerate. It kind of this whole experience kind of pushed us forward like 3 or 4 years in people's like excitement and expectation for it, where a
Yeah.
lot more people were skeptical because like that Gudetama thing I did was like, so my friend makes that more museum and he's like, hey, like another VR artist Danny was having trouble with his eyes maybe from his VR headset.
Mm.
It's like really sucks. But they're like, hey, do you want to do this like and fill in for him? So I was like, okay, I'll do this. I didn't really know what it was, but it's like Gudetama and Verizon and Charlie Cohen was the designer I worked with. So that was like their concept to like, let's have like a Gudetama party. And I was like, put it in a frying pan.
Just
um,
so cool.
yeah, it's so weird. But yeah, like it was interesting that whole experience because all those people had never done VR before. And they had
Mm.
like all these plans, like 2 or 3 dress rehearsals, and like everyone's having technical issues. And I feel like I had the most technical issues, which is so VR. Like you're always like rebooting stuff and trying to get it to work. But it was cool to see so many people very enthusiastic and just like, oh my god, like what is this and what's happening, and like yeah, like it's really gonna be a big thing. I definitely
Yeah.
traveled so far, so many like miles from this like room, from this like beanbag
Yeah.
or that
No,
chair.
seriously. And I mean, even like we're in such a niche, like weird market, anyways. But the people I feel like within our space are so willing to try new things and like embrace new technology, which is
Yeah,
really amazing. So I think it's even, we're in this weird, exciting, like infancy stage. Even if we've been in it for a little while, it seems like it really is just still so young and
yeah,
still so small. So it's super special. Like everyone watching here, everyone rewatching this video later on, like it's like I just encourage if you haven't yet. I'm sure I know a lot of these people, at least in the chat, have, but like just dive in, ask
yeah.
questions. It's such
I
a
like
an
that diving.
amazing space. Like it changed my life. I'm sure it changed yours. And it allows you to, if not saying you have to work in this space and make your living this way, but it allows you to experience things in a different way.
Yeah,
And so yeah, no. Anyways, um, but
yeah. I know. It's weird because I always feel like such a freak talking about like VR and stuff. and I'm like seem like, oh, like so, like I'm almost a cult person, like you gotta
Yeah,
get in here, and like, or like I'm trying to push drugs or something on you, like you gotta do
totally.
this VR thing. But it really is transformative. I've seen anybody, family members, everything I've seen have been totally transformed when they go in there. And then like even my mother-in-law has VR, and my brother-in-law,
Nice.
and we've gone in there and gone like bowling with them recently, and like she goes to lots of places and plays in there all the time, like
That's so
dance
cool.
games, and she goes and hangs out with people in rec room. And like she's a very social person, and I think like with COVID especially, she's just like going nuts, like wanting to go hang out with her friends, so she's just like hanging out with weird like
That's
strange
so
people willing to
cool.
like, yeah, it's like totally like the bleeding edge experience of our physical
Oh
reality.
yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
Um, this is awesome. I'm gonna see if there's any questions in the chat that I was ignoring. Sorry. Hey,
All good.
Samsonite, better late than never. What's up? Um,
Hey. Hey.
oh, easy. You finally got your CV apartment. Just decorated it a little. I'm excited to. Oh, what is that?
I
It's
don't
like
know what this
gold.
is called. A friend of mine gave it to me when I
Looks
moved
really
from
cool.
Vermont. Yeah, when we moved
Um,
to SF from Vermont, one of our friends gave it to us. I
cool
don't
to
know
have
what
the.
it's
Oh,
called.
cool. Our show is streamed in the Whale Discord too. I didn't know that. Awesome.
Hey, whale Discord,
That's awesome.
whale community.
Yeah. Family VR trips, awesome. Yes, which reminds me, I would love,
Like
Jin, if you
VR
watch
trip.
this later, but I'll reach out to you. We should do a field trip or something crazy and something fun.
Jen and Boombox Head will mess your mind
Yes.
up.
Oh, I know. I was just
I
chatting with
literally had to
Boombox
take a
Head
whole
like
day
an
off
hour
after
ago.
I hung out with them. I got a hangover from a
From
VR
VR?
trip, from a VR trip with them.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
like that's probably the furthest I've gone. They took me to like different places in VR chat.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of them
I
was
love
like this
that.
room where there's like this cool living room with like a weed plant, and it's just like chill. And it's like such a great vibe in there. I was like, wow, this is just such a great designed space. And there was like a TV, and they're like, go too close to the TV, Joy. And like you go to the close to the TV, and the room like evaporates. And
Oh.
as you get closer and closer to it, you can go into the TV, and stuff goes nuts. It's all
Okay, that's
fuzzy and crazy.
cool.
And like I was like, how far can we go? And I was like running out there, and you turn around and you can see the TV, and you through the TV you see the living room.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
and then another one they took me to was this place that's made in Oculus Medium by, I can't remember the artist's name, but he's this old like psychedelic artist from like the 60s who does VR art now. And he is this huge space, this huge gigantic sculpt that was done in medium, or maybe multiple sculpts. And he was like, Boombox Head and Jen were like, come on, come check this out, come check this out. And we were running around in there, and all of a sudden they said something about like their keyboard got stuck or something, or I can't remember what they said. I was like, wait, you guys are like on your screen? Yeah. And I thought the whole time I had been hanging out with them in
In
VR.
VR.
And I had this weird sinking strange feeling that they were playing me like an avatar, like in a game, like it's weird because they were like playing a video game in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, but I wasn't actually in there because I told them,
Right.
I was like, we have to slow down, because we were going so fast through this
Yeah.
world. And I was like running and teleporting and like trying to keep up with them.
That's
And then
so funny.
it really like it gave me this weird feeling, and then like we went more places, and I was like, I gotta stop, I'm so sorry, bye.
No, that's
And
happened to me before with them, so don't
really,
feel bad.
yeah, you
I'm
just
like,
like black out, huh?
well, also, like, they have so many amazing spaces, and I remember I was
Yeah.
in one of the spaces where something wasn't configured properly, and it was only with Quest, and I was on a Quest, and they were on their PCs, and I started
Ooh.
seeing different perspectives in each eye. So I
Oh
had to
no,
close
yeah.
one eye to be able to see because I was like, I was getting dizzy and like I was starting to feel really sick because my
Yeah.
eyes were seeing totally two different things. So I like closed one eye while I was walking around, but when I faced a
Oh,
certain
that's gotta
direction,
be
it
so
wouldn't
hard.
do it. So I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but I gotta
You
get
gotta
out of here
go.
for now. I'll see you guys next time. But we absolutely need to do a field trip with them because I mean, just side note, huge shout out to them for everything and for all they're doing for this space, the VR space. And they're
Absolutely.
just so
They're
freaking
OGs of
amazing.
that space.
Yeah, and they also, I mean, without Jin, I met Jin in New York a while back, and he introduced me to Crypto Voxels. and that was when I was first really, really getting into NFTs. And he just kind of like blew my mind. And I was like, what is this? Who are you? Like, what's your
Yeah.
name? Am I allowed to follow you on Twitter? Like, what is going on? And just like that experience of meeting him and him just being so welcoming and like so excited to just share. I mean, I was like geeking out. I was like, when he was telling me about CryptoVoxels back then, and he was like showing it to me, and I was like, I am gonna make a VR art gallery. And I thought
That's
I was like
awesome.
so original and like the first one ever gonna be doing this in this world. And he was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Like, hop in and let's get going. And like,
Cool.
obviously, like it was before everything was black and white, and like it was bizarre. But anyways, he was just so welcoming and so amazing. And just shout out to them because they're epic. But
Yeah,
I would love
definitely.
that. Like, that would be okay. Everyone in this chat, we need to get this started. Joy, Jin, and Boombox Head take us on a field trip, because
Nice.
I
Yeah.
want you to take us on a field trip to the, what did you call it? The Impossible Museum? What was
Oh,
it?
the Museum of Other Realities, the More,
Yes.
MOR.
I want to see the Moore Museum. I'm happy to buy a ticket. How much are
Cool.
tickets?
I think it's like $20 or something to
Okay,
get
cool.
to download the app. It's in the Steam store.
Okay, heck yeah. I want to get a ticket for that. I will sponsor 3 other tickets for it.
Yeah, and I
Whoever the
have tickets too. I have three
first
tickets to
three
give
do
away.
okay, good. We should do that, and we should just get going on this. I would love to see all that stuff.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I think
Go
that'd be
check it
epic.
out. It's such a trip.
Um,
I know, and I don't do a lot of the social VR stuff enough because that's like when I did that. We were showing off the More. I was having so much trouble because I don't go places. I just hang out in my studio making
yeah,
art. Like I'm literally just sitting in the same interface in Medium all the time. All we like
yeah,
it's enough to like make a thing for me. So then like I'll go places like when I went with them, I was like, whoa, this is insane. You took me on an acid trip.
yeah. It's a totally different experience, and I'll be
Yeah,
I'll be a Quest user with you, so that you're
cool,
not the only one not on your PC. I'll
nice.
be a
Yeah, we'll
Quest
go on
user with you,
quest.
so we can experience it together and not be played like little pawns by them. No, just
It's
kidding.
kind of like real life where everyone's perception is completely different at all
Yeah.
times.
No,
Some
totally.
people have like real high end headsets, like
Yeah.
what is it, the Revive? Not the Revive, but the Revive G2. That looks cool. Or is
I've
it
never.
Revive?
I don't even know what that is. So
I
you're
can't
ahead.
remember.
You're
There's
ahead
so
of me.
many things.
Yeah. No. Um, this is awesome. Whale Shark said everyone was watching and asking how they could get their own joy. Oh, and someone also did ask earlier, and I forgot to ask this. They asked if you do have um, an edition planned, or if you're thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, actually, I was playing Rarible DM'd me, and then I was playing on Rarible, and I was like, wow, Rarible's become like insanely awesome. And I was like looking at editions, like, wow, this is really great. Like everyone can access art, which that's why like my original contract, everything started at $1 because I was like, I want everyone to be able to like access this, or at least have a moment. That's what we'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, I had a joy for a second. It was cool.
Right. Yeah. No.
And so
Totally.
it's like, yeah. And so, yeah, I definitely think about prints. I constantly think about every contract that's ever interacted with a Joy. And I have plans for back rewarding anybody who's ever bid or done things. Because I think that's something cool about the blockchain is we have a record of everyone, like people
Right.
who have been interested in it and people who have like been funding it, and like everyone in between who just, yeah, community talking and just everything.
Yeah. No,
It's
that's
just
amazing. So yes,
gotta
he
reward
he's
them.
thinking about the
I'm
additions.
thinking about it. How many people want it? Reply with emojis.
Yeah, let us know. I know I saw Giselle, Easy, and Connie already say that they're interested.
Be sure
Let's
to
see.
use 4 different types or 5 different types of emojis.
Yeah. Um. Oh yeah, Easy. Yeah, I want a JP so bad, waiting to jump in on the chain.
There's a secondary market for joy pieces.
Yeah. What's the lowest on the secondary market right now? Do you know?
I
Just
think
curious.
Whale Shark's selling Juicy Jackalope, or not
Oh
Whale
yeah.
Shark, Satman's selling Juicy Jackalope for 9 ETH.
Oof. Have you seen? ETH was at 425 earlier. I wonder what it's at now.
Ooh,
Let's see what
it
it's
should
at.
stay at 420 for a long time. Remember when it was 1,000? Those were wild
Yeah.
times.
I mean, it seems like
I
we're
just
inching.
hodled it like mad.
Oh yeah, it's at
Huddling,
421 right now.
huddling whale and F. Is
Yes, I
that
love that.
420? 421?
421. Sorry. So a sweet 3800. Your lowest one is on sale for right now. So just saying,
Nice.
keep
Juicy
his going.
Jackalope.
I love that one.
So Juicy Jackalope restarted the Joy World art market. Juicy Jackalope has the power to restart worlds. So
Hmm.
Juicy Jackalope was the first Joy in the new Joy contract.
I remember when you made that one, and you had a really cool. I love when you launch new pieces because you put them like in the scenery, and you like
Yeah,
have this whole experience with them. That is just cool. And didn't you have him walking another one? Do I remember that correctly?
yeah. Juicy Jackalope was dancing, and he danced, and the world became unfrozen, and the
Okay.
contract became alive again.
Okay.
And so the new Joy contract launched through Juicy's ability to melt worlds.
That's so cool. I don't know how you can think of these names, but it's
The
very
jackalope, my aunt, one of my aunts from way back when, she had a jackalope, Aunt Jane, and Uncle John had a jackalope in their house. It was such a weird concept to me as a kid. I was obsessed with it.
that's
Um,
crazy.
I grew up around like a lot of people had like mounts and stuff in their house, so I'd seen
Yeah.
like a lot of like jackalopes and just I thought at first as a kid, of course, you think that's a real like animal, like a
Yeah.
rabbit with like antlers, and you're always kind of like on the lookout for them.
Oh.
So it seems like a mystic kind of creature to me. I just thought like, what is this creature, and like, why are people like taking its life? Like, this, I don't know. Um, but yeah, so Juicy actually got made originally. Juicy was made right after Berserk, but didn't come out for quite a few months
Yeah.
before
I
I
really
got
like Berserk.
my head back together.
I'm glad you showed that piece. That would be one of my favorites. Um,
Berserk's wearing all latex,
I love that. That's really
even on
cool.
his lips.
I love that. Oh, so uh, Whale Shark said Juicy Jackalope has been purchased. Welcome to the vault, Juicy.
Ah!
Woo!
Oh my god!
That's
Whale
awesome.
shark!
I love that. Whale Shark,
Hello!
how many joy pieces are in the vault? Also, Joy, do you know how many joy pieces there are?
There are 108 joys
Wow,
currently.
that is a lot.
Yeah,
So do you
each one's
own?
original.
Oh my
I own
God.
one. I own Power Flower.
Oh, you only own one?
Yeah, I started
That's
thinking I want to
crazy.
hold joys more, and I'm holding Power Flower because Power Flower is building. Whale Shark made this really wonderful offer on Power Flower, which was very tempting. But Power Flower is building something at Joy Farms,
Okay,
and
cool.
so he's a part of a bigger story. So we have to wait just a little bit longer. I want to hodl it. I want to suck all the magic power out of out of a Power Flower because Power Flower can propagate entire worlds. Power Flower has the power to make things appear that weren't there, that were hidden beneath the surface.
Oh, this is exciting. So when does this part launch?
Am I frozen? Hey,
You're not frozen anymore. When does that part launch?
um, to be to be determined.
Okay, that's fair. I don't like putting dates on much anything anyway. So
Yeah, I put dates on drops before, and also I've had to freeze some like collaborative things recently because I put dates on things, and then I was all, actually the joys, the sea joys that I've been releasing, they were all going to come out. They were all going to come out together, and I scrapped all of them because they weren't right. They didn't have a
yeah.
vibe,
Okay.
and so that's why they've been kind of been coming out piece by piece because I've been like, no, you gotta be like better. You gotta be. I don't know. It like it doesn't matter to me like what happens with them in a lot of ways, but at the same time, like I want to feel like it's complete to me. Like I want to feel like
Yeah.
it's something I want, you know?
Yeah. No. Totally. That's Whale Shark said he has 22 with Juicy, which means
Woo, woo,
you
woo.
own like just a little bit over 20%, which is pretty nuts.
Wow. Top collector. He's secured the crown.
By the way, for those of you who saw Kitty at the end of
Kidding.
season one, um, she's gotten a lot bigger. In crypto, I don't know where she is. Oh yeah, she's
Oh
right
my
at my
god, I
feet.
can't believe what you said.
She's huge. I just brought them to the vet the other day, and the vet started
Pull them both
laughing.
up here.
Yeah, let me grab crypto. The vet started laughing, and she was like, because it was a virtual appointment because of COVID, so I was like in my car, and they like zoomed me. It was actually very interesting and cool. But she started laughing. She was like, "Wow, it's not often that I see kittens that, because they're only like, they were born on actually 420, but it's not often that," she was like, "it's not often that I see kittens that are this husky." She was saying that
Oh.
Crypto was overweight, and I was like, well, here, I'll grab Crypto.
Poor Crypto. Getting body shamed. Poor Crypto, she looks great.
But I
Why
don't
are
know
they
if I've
body?
ever shown Crypto on camera, so that was Crypto.
Why was Crypto getting body shamed?
I know.
Crypto
I
looks
was like, oh,
amazing.
poor Crypto. But it's funny because Kitty eats
You
way
didn't rage.
more.
I'll never come back here.
I know.
Shame my cat.
Crypto eats way more. Like Kitty actually will steal her wet food because I feed them both wet food and dry food. But she'll steal her wet food, and then Crypto will be like, I don't care, and she'll just go eat like all the dry food, which is kind of funny. So,
I'll take it.
that was a little side bonus to see the cats that have been.
Cats are critical for any internet experience.
Yeah, and if you guys have heard all of this like ruckus in the background and like the green screen almost dropping, and there was like a table, I heard my table knock over earlier.
Oh no.
That was the cats. So, anyways.
They're tearing it up.
I know, but I love them too much. I don't care. I let them literally.
New moon is coming. They're losing their mind.
Yeah, and well, she said that she was like, these next 2 weeks are gonna be their biggest growth spurt. So I'm just saying they're growing cats. So they're just they're just a little crazy right now.
Going to changes.
Anyways, Easy said the vault always makes me feel sophisticated. That's so funny. Love you, Whale. I hope you have a nice day today. Samsonite said.
Yeah, I love you, Whale.
Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in the stream and putting it on your Discord as well. He just signed off. Thank you. Cool. Okay, so I want to ask you these. I'm so bummed. I totally forgot that I was supposed to make new questions. I don't know what that was. I'm just ignoring it. New questions for season 2. So I still have the old questions, and next episode I'll have new ones. So sorry you're getting the old questions, Joy.
Hit me with them. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm practiced. No, I never practice. I just show up.
Did you practice?
Real time.
Okay. Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Ethereum all the way.
Oh,
100.
you almost said Bitcoin. I knew you were gonna
I
say
almost
Ethereum,
did.
Though. Go back 1 year or forward 1 year?
Be here now.
Okay. That's the first answer. That's a good one. Last NFT or physical art piece that you purchased?
The last one I purchased publicly was the
Publicly?
boombox head boombox.
Okay.
So I was buying art publicly, and then I felt weird about it because I feel like artists should make art and not really focus on being an art collector. But I also like love stuff so much. So like, I don't know, I like went into the shadows for a bit, and then recently I realized that like it's better to like, buying art is way better than liking art, you know?
Yeah.
It means so much to the artist. Like every time people buy stuff, I lose my freaking mind.
Oh, same.
I run around the house screaming, like do a flip, you know, like into my. So like, I wanna, and one of my main goals, one of my main missions has always been with Joy World is to spread like peace, love, and joy. And I feel like spreading joy does, you know, sometimes mean financially like purchasing people's work. So I'm doing it a bit more publicly now.
Yeah.
So then,
No, that's cool.
Because he's a pioneer.
Yeah. No. Oh my gosh, he's amazing.
And the deal was insane, like so cheap for like from a piece from Boombox Head.
And you're like, hell yeah. No, that's epic. I love his stuff, and that I agree that that's super special to be able to invest in an artist in such a meaningful way. So
yeah, it's something I preach a lot, and so I want to do it less in the shadows.
Yeah.
And more be like joyful with you all by everyone's art.
That's cool. Also, thank you for the follow, Rude Moose, Gbox007, and GGENGU. Sorry if I'm not saying your name right.
Also, everyone be sure to go buy Pizza Rats.
All right, you heard them.
You know what Pizza Rats are?
No, I don't.
So I made like before I was doing there in a brief flash between doing um
Season 1 and season 2?
no, before Joy's,
Oh.
there was I made a lot of iPad art, and then Apple made a way to make stickers, so I made iPhone stickers. And so
Oh.
one of my stickers is like the number one or number two stickers in the App Store
What?
randomly, and it's like by me, my name's on there. But if you go read the reviews, they're hilariously awesome, except the few negative reviews I feel
So
real
they're
bad
called
about.
pizza rats?
Yeah, you have to go through the messages sticker store. And then there's another one in there called Shark Heads, which is where that little shark head emoji I have sometimes comes up.
Okay, will you put a link in my Discord? Because now I'm really
Yeah.
intrigued and I don't know where to look for it, but that sounds awesome and I want to get one.
Yeah, you have to go through messages, App Store, which is weird.
Okay.
But I was number one forever, and then Star Wars took me down again. So we got
Oh.
to take down Star Wars.
Bummer that Star Wars took you down to number 2. That's
Star Wars
crazy. That's
sucks
epic.
compared to Joyce.
That
No,
is
I'm
so
joking. I
cool.
love
Okay, now
Star
I need a
Wars.
pizza wrap.
You need a pizza wrap.
And I just love the connection to pizza since that's
So if you're in
just
the Joy Discord, and sometimes people come in there and yell, or they celebrate pizza wraps, that's what's going on.
now I really need one. Okay, can
Because I
you
link it to the Joy's
a-
shop.
we need a link. We need a link so we can get one of
Okay.
those. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm a morning person, so today I woke up at I think 4:30 this morning
Wow,
and
that's
started
probably what time I
working.
go to bed. So
And I go to
we're the opposite.
bed about midnight.
Oh, so you
That's
like don't sleep. Got it.
Unfortunately, like it's yeah, I don't know.
Do you just
and
like wake up with ideas?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And I have lots of weird nightmares and dreams about Joy World. Actually, when I first released the contract, and somebody bought Joybot at one point for like 2.5 Ether, and at the time was like $1,000 some. I totally freaked me out. Like I was like paranoid, almost like, what have I done? Like I owe this person so much. I have to maintain this bot forever. I mean, because before I was making art in a very like non-attached way. I'd make the art, maybe we sell the art and people buy it and it goes wherever. And now
Yeah.
it's a very like curated. I want
Yeah.
to maintain these very special things because they mean a lot to some people. I hope, and they mean the world to me.
Oh, of course, of course.
They mean Joy World to me.
Yeah, no, I love that. What is my next question? Oh, cats or dogs?
Oh, dogs.
All right.
But I love cats. I love all.
Yeah, I love them both. I'm biased right now since I have 2 kittens, but I love them both. Decentraland Cryptovoxels or Somnium Space?
Joy World.
All right, I love that. I'm gonna start adding that in Joy World.
Or Joy World, wherever may take us.
Yes. And Joy World might take us into everything. We'll see. Window or aisle seat?
Window, but I always end up with middle seat because we always
Oh.
buy the window and middle seat, and I give Amber the window seat.
Yeah. Oh, that's very nice of you.
She's much more introverted, and I'm much more like, hey,
Yeah.
what up, new friend?
That's awesome. Yeah, I do the same thing with my fiance, and he's very nice to always give me the window because he's traveled so many places, and I like have never traveled anywhere. So he's like,
Awesome.
I'll give it to you so you can see
Give the
everything. I'm like,
window.
yes. And I can
I
also
definitely do
nap.
this thing the whole time.
Yeah, he does too. And he'll be like, if I'm napping or something, he'll like open the window and be like, wake up. Someone in the past or present in crypto that you'd like to meet?
Oh, Valtech.
What'd you say?
Valtech, or the guy who made Ethereum.
Oh, okay. Vitalik?
Vitalik, why
a
did I say
little weird.
Valtech?
Yeah, I was
Vitalik.
like, okay, yes, no, that
Vitalik.
would
Sorry.
be. I
Wine's
think
hitting me.
no, dude, same, totally fine. I think he's like, I feel like you guys would vibe. Not that
Yeah.
I personally know him well. I just feel like you guys would.
I've rendered a bunch of Vitalik
Valtech, I like that.
Valtech pieces. I've rendered a bunch of the pieces with him in it. Or like when he's wearing like the rainbow, but I've never
Yeah.
like. They're not good. They're just funny for me.
All
so.
right, well, we need to see some. Your
And people
favorite.
keep telling me to make him things and send them to him. They said that in the early days, like send him a Joy, but I couldn't because of that locked contract.
Yeah.
a lot of people are like, send a joy for this or that, and I'm like, I can't, I don't know how. But
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder, he probably gets so much stuff now. You have to
yeah,
meet him at a conference.
yeah. What's his wallet address? Do
I'm
people
sure
know?
there's, I'm sure
Definitely
there's
Cerebral, right?
some places where we can find it.
Do you keep lots of wallets, or
Oh no, I don't keep a lot of
do you
wallets.
focus? Okay, I
I'm
got like
really,
wallets and wallets.
I have a
I'm
couple.
just testing everyone's app. Got to
Yeah,
test all the wallets.
no, I don't have a ton. I have a couple. I'm really sad that I lost some of my early wallets. Like I lost all my CryptoKitties, which was pretty sad because my computer
Mm,
broke and then I wasn't
bummer.
prepared.
I lost the
Um,
wallet, one wallet.
yeah, and I was like, because when CryptoKitties first came out, I remember my first cat, and I just got my wisdom teeth pulled, and I was like totally loopy, and I was like, buy me a CryptoKitty, and I was like, I was crazy. Anyways, um, I was living with my fiance and like all of his roommates before we were just dating, and me, him, and one other roommate were like super into like crypto and Ethereum. And me and his roommate, he wasn't into CryptoKitties, but his roommate had a cat and I had a cat. And I was like, send me your cat so I can breed. Then I'll send you your cat back. And then we just got like super into it and we're buying all these cats. And I was kind of bummed that I lost that wallet because that would have been fun to
Dang.
have. But
With the
um,
cats, there's all these memories of like breeding them, right? Because
yeah,
that's what Amber and I would do too. I'd be like, send me your dolly. I'll send you
yeah, exactly.
this taku. Then you can mix it with that one and this one, and maybe we'll make a cat that's
I
worth a
know.
fortune.
And then we were like, at some point this gets really incestual, but whatever, it's a game. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so let's see. Favorite food.
Pizza.
Okay,
But
that's a
now
good
I'm more
one.
like gluten free, so that's why there's like pizza is all you
Cauliflower
need.
pizza or whatever.
Pizza is all you need, which don't you own pizza is all you need?
No, I don't.
Oh, I thought you had it. I
I
thought someone has
wish.
it. Pizza's all you need is the one where it's like holding the two pizzas up like
Yeah,
this and
yeah,
screaming.
yeah. I've seen that one.
And that one is like because I it was the time when I was going all crazy, and then I just remember just thinking like pizza's the best, pizza's all you need. So that's what that pizza is. That's
I
why he's in
love
his
that.
underwear.
So do you still eat pizza? You just like do it in a gluten-free way?
I do, and then also I'll eat gluten pizza sometimes and just get sick just for fun.
Yeah, just do
Because
it.
I'm not like super like it doesn't make me super sick. It makes me really depressed.
Oh,
It's really
interesting.
weird. It took me a long time to figure out, but if I eat gluten within like 2 to 3 days, I feel really depressed.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
your diet does
Although
have
I
so
enjoy,
much to
I
do.
definitely have, I have get depressed like any human or
Yeah.
go through stuff.
Yeah, Easy said I lived off pizza for a while living in NYC. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm in Chicago and pizza is definitely running rampant here. It's like on
the
every
best
corner and I
there.
love it. Texting or calling?
Texting.
Okay. Would you want to live
Oh,
forever?
but I love to call. I do call people and I talk to people. Like I call Paul every so often.
Oh,
Like maybe
that's
every half
nice.
a year we talk.
That's
Um,
nice.
it's funny because he's like building super. He's building super plastic. I'm building like Joy World. We don't really talk about that. We just talk about weird stuff. But I like to call certain people and have long conversations.
Well, maybe you guys are going to team up on something where he's going to bring super plastic and embed chips
Who
in them to
knows?
scan NFTs.
Who knows?
I feel
There's no
like
way to
there's going to be
know.
something happening.
There's
Okay,
so many
anyways,
secrets inside of Joy World. I want
I
to
love that.
scream sometimes.
I
And
love
then people
that.
are like, "Will you do this?" And I'm like, "I'm doing it, but I don't want to
Yeah,
tell you."
but I can't tell you yet. I love that. Um, would you want to live forever? Did I ask that yet? No.
Oh man. No. I want to live a really good life. I mean, you do live forever and you don't live forever. I mean, you die every day we die. And then everything you do is a death, and every joy that I release in a way is a death.
Hmm.
It's an ending, and then every
But it's
day I
also a
wake up.
beginning for someone else.
Exactly, yeah. And every day I wake up, I realize it's the beginning, and the only thing that exists are all these little memories and synapses things in my brain trying to make me be like, I'm Joy, and I make these things, and this is what I do. But I try and just remember like every day you're kind of born again and you can start over, and just trying to have a beginner's mind. So
Yeah.
I know I love the idea of living forever because I really want to see, you know, where does this like caveman version of VR take us, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Every time anything bad's happened or weird things are happening, I remember back in the day, it'd be like, a new Xbox is coming out. And even though I didn't want to play the Xbox, I was really fascinated by how much computer power it had and how the computer power was getting smaller and smaller. And like computer power could become infinite. And at that point, like our simulated worlds, these like dreams are like indistinguishable from reality. Did you ever
Mm.
watch The Cell?
Mm-mm.
So The Cell is like this movie, I think from the early aughts, and it's like this person goes into criminals' minds. They like go through, they like lay the sheet over their faces, and they go into like criminals who like won't speak or just like won't reveal what's going on, and they go into their dreams, and
Oh.
they're inside of their dreams, and they go through all the, it's like with who is it, with Jennifer Lopez.
Oh.
Yeah, she did an amazing
Huh.
job in that piece. And then so yeah, in that film they like go through dreams, and I remember watching that. Something that I've always like been obsessed with is the idea of like programming dreams.
Yeah.
Because one of my favorite artists, like I was raised real traditional, and like here's how like a deer looks and everything should look like this, and this person's art isn't good because it's not perfectly accurate, you know, it doesn't look like a real wildlife scene. And then my friend Taylor Day, who was, his parents were like hippies, and they were like the only hippies in town. And I was like best friends with this guy Taylor Day, and we had a band together. And he like handed me a book of Dolly, and oh my god, that like my whole life changed from there. And like that's where I got real obsessed with like my own dreams, and I was trying to have lucid dreams and like getting obsessed with like dreaming and thinking a lot about that. But I think we're finally getting to the state where people are like can like make dreams, you know, wake awake
Yeah.
dreams in VR.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Have you seen the show Upload? It's random. It's
Sounds very
new.
familiar.
It's kind of
Is
new,
it
I
the
think.
one with the robots?
It's
Oh
like
no, that's the circle or the center or something.
no, upload is like when you like basically if they know you're dying, if it's an unexpected death, you just die, but if they know you're dying, they can upload you to
I saw one episode of that because she trick him or something. Well, it seems sus
you
like
should
she
watch it.
tricked him into
Anyways,
uploading.
I was
Okay,
just
cool.
thinking
I'll go further.
when he's in this place, you know, because obviously people can afford different worlds, so maybe you can't afford like this crazy world, but you can afford this world. But anyways, there was like this sort of like vortex thing that if you jump into it, you're kind of like committing
Yeah.
like real death. And I'm like,
Yes, I remember that. And
I
they were
would
like calling
totally,
into his world.
yeah, I would totally live forever if I had the option of stopping, like not living forever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he can
Yeah.
live forever as long as he doesn't jump into this thing where he literally will commit suicide, like as
It's like
a
a weird
non-living
digital
person.
purgatory thing.
Yeah, it's so weird. Anyways, I
It's
was just
so
watching
far
that,
out.
and I actually thought of this question while I was watching it. I was like, hell yeah, I'd live. I'd have the. I'd love to have the option to live forever because I also have the option to stop living forever. Anyways,
That's true. If you didn't mention the death portal.
I know, I know.
I might have
I
been more
kind of
tempted by the option with the death portal because I'm thinking of, I mean, life is suffering, living is suffering. Don't you have pain every day and different things that upset you or things that happen? Or
that's such an interesting way to look. I, it's so interesting, especially to
Joy
hear you say
World.
it. I know it's so interesting, especially to hear you say it. It's very like it's weird because, and I won't go super into this because I mean we're closing up and it's kind of a weird topic, anyways.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like I
Wow, time's
had.
flying. This is a great
I
conversation.
know. I feel
Thanks
like
for calling, Jess.
yeah, I know this is awesome. We should record all of our conversations and just put them on
Yeah,
this show.
it's just a random one.
Um, I feel like I'm at such a interesting point in my life where every day I feel so happy and so
Mm,
fortunate
same.
because, especially in my childhood, there was a ton of suffering, and it's taught me so much and it's made me who I am. And I wouldn't change any of it, but there was so much suffering, and it was very different. It was like trying to figure out like how to live versus now it's easy to live, and it's like so many more things I have and I'm super fortunate to have, so now I find so much happiness and joy in every day, which I didn't when I was a child. So it's so interesting. It's like, but it's, you know, hearing you talk earlier about you felt like you had everything growing up, not everything, but I'm paraphrasing.
No, we definitely like live the like poor artist life.
Yeah.
Like I have all kinds of like poor people style snacks I make. Well, I don't mean to say poor people, but
no, I know what you mean.
Like we definitely would like microwave the sugar with the like corn syrup, and then you mix it together and pour water, and then you have like taffy or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I remember like we moved at one point, and my parents said I was the only kid who never got sick of eating pizza. That's why I said like I like pizza. Like,
that's amazing.
Eat pizza every night, like whatever's the cheapest pizza they could get, kind of thing for a while. Just I definitely like my parents live very like poor, and from from like project to project, and like my dad made a lot of like life-size like huge pieces. He made like these 2 geese that are flying like wingtip to wingtip, and it's like 20 or 30 feet tall in Lamar, Colorado, and it's like they had to wind test it and stuff. But like making those things like didn't really make him money. Is like basically the money given to him was enough to like build it, but it was just like
but it brought him some sort of like happiness to be able to create something that he connected with so much. I would love to see his work again too. You should link that as well.
Yeah, it's JustinIYoung.com.
Justin I. Young. Are you so happy that your initials are Joy?
Yeah, I am. I mean,
how amazing is that?
Once I figured it out, I was like, I don't like this, and I was weird about it. You know, I felt kind of as a kid, like, oh, no one figures this out. And it's interesting. Like when I was a kid, I'd go get my hair cut before I started cutting my own hair, because I randomly was like, why am I paying somebody to do this when it's more fun to do it myself?
I've never gotten a haircut.
It's like a sculpture, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You just figure it out. You put like a mirror behind your head to make sure it's
the
even
back
in
mirror.
The back.
Yeah, and maybe if you're lucky, somebody will trim it.
Yeah, exactly.
Tidy it up. But yeah, like I don't know why we're talking about home haircuts now, but yeah.
Because we're drinking wine, basically. I hope everyone watching this is drinking wine too.
And also I hope you're all contemplating getting a pair of clippers, and I hope you go through it and cut your own hair, because it'll be fun.
Well, I mean, they probably have with COVID.
Oh, because quarantine.
Because no one's been able to get haircuts, so people have just had to make do, which I think is awesome. I've been cutting my hair my whole life.
Teenies out of bleach and Tide Pods and
God,
doing home haircuts.
No. Okay, here's the last question. Describe the NFT space with 3 words.
The fucking future.
Love that. That's a good one. That's a very good one. Oh yeah, I'm just reading some of these chats. I think that's the perfect like way to finish this off, because everything we've been talking about is so, for people who aren't super into VR, even myself, like I haven't been able to like create in VR. I've experienced it in some levels, but I want to experience it more. I hope that it's opened the door or open something like that's exciting. Balloons. Yeah. Wait, do you often just sculpt balloons in this little back room? That's awesome.
No, I just blew it up randomly.
You should make a little dog or something with it.
Should I do it right now?
Yeah.
How do you do it? A dog?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I've never
tried. It needs
tried.
like a nose.
I think that's its back leg and its tail. Now you make its body. And
usually we do like. Tail. Okay, look, I got a head. Oh, wait. Wait.
I think you might should do it the other way around, because do you have no slack on the other side now?
You're gonna pop?
Possibly, but maybe. That's kind of fun. 2 ears and tail. Oh, all right, you're halfway.
I really hope Jeff Koons doesn't sue me.
Yeah, he might. He probably will, let's be honest.
I have a Jeff Koons Joy I made a long time ago. Do you guys want me to tokenize it?
Yeah.
It's a Jiffy one. Jiffy Koons.
Oh yes, a Joy balloon dog. Live even.
Joy does make stuff with his hands.
Yeah.
In reality too. Look.
That's awesome. I love that.
Look how long his nose is.
All right, now you're gonna need to tokenize a dog like this.
Tokenize the dog. Wait, I put something in here. Yay!
That was awesome. That's the perfect ending to this episode. So this, I think this might officially be my longest episode. Maybe minus Jim. Jim was a long episode too.
This is the end.
All right, I'm gonna snap
The
this
Behind
clip.
the Art Show.
Season
We
2,
are at the
episode
end.
1 kickoff.
Season 2, episode 1 with Josie featuring Joy. Hey, my space bar fell off. That happens
Oh.
often with this machine. I
Oh,
typed
okay.
through this computer,
Okay.
so it comes off.
You should
All
just
right.
permanently find a way to glue it back on. Easy said felt like a party, which is awesome. Yes, Joy, you made this feel like a party. You were such an amazing guest. I'm super happy to
Wow.
have you on because I feel like I got to know a little bit more behind the scenes, and I hope we shared that with everyone else as well because your work is just so amazing and like I don't know if emotional is the right word, but just like you can connect with it on weird different levels that you didn't know you were supposed to connect with art with, which I think is
Awesome.
really cool. And I just love again, like I love how the 3D sculpture itself, in my opinion, tells a different story than like the colors, which I think is such a cool intersection. And I'm super, super excited to see what you're doing next and physical stuff, virtual stuff, Joy World, just like everything. I'm super excited to just see everything sort of play together and what you have up your sleeve because you're like a madman in such a good way.
Just trying to have
and-
it. It popped.
Oh no! I heard
It was
that.
a beautiful work of art that we all got to share just in this moment.
Exactly.
It was perfect.
Only the people on the stream got to share this.
It was a performance piece.
Tier DCL, yeah, it was fun. Thanks, guys. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Matt Kane, Samsonite,
Thank
Easy.
you so much, everyone, for joining.
This was such an
Thank
awesome
you, Josie,
stream.
for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for kicking off
appreciate
season
you.
2. This was
I appreciate you
epic.
doing this and introducing us all to each other because it's been so fun, like watching when I can catch it in real time and then watching the back episodes and like getting to meet everyone was really cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I will post a tweet soon of everyone coming up on the show. We have Easy coming up. We have Primal Cipher. I'm gonna get Brookhawk on here because he's just such an amazing builder in CV and has been a part of the community for a long time. I have a cool. Actually, I don't know if any of you guys know one of the guests I'm bringing on, but I'm excited for. His name is Josh Blaylock, and he made a Bitcoin comic book, and he's has a super successful comic book company. And he's not in NFTs yet, but I'm bringing him over. But he's super epic and just a cool guy, so I'm excited to have him on. But we have a lot of cool stuff coming up for season 2, so I'll tweet about it eventually, pretty soon, hopefully. And you guys can get the schedule. But this was perfect. This was awesome. Thank you so much, Joy. I feel like I need Josie. I wish I wore a yellow shirt this time, but I'll wear one next time and just give you a shout out and say that this was my next yellow shirt is going to be in memory of this episode, in memory of Joy.
Rad, yeah. A little bit Joy carried over.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you so much for hosting me, Josie, and thank you so much, Whale Shark, for buying Juicy Jackalope.
Yeah,
I was trying to say Juicy Jackalope and Josie together.
All these
I almost said Joycey. Joycey. That's our interview name.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. No. Thank you, Whale Shark, also for streaming it on your channel. That's awesome.
Yes. Thank you
for everyone watching in on there. And I appreciate all of you. And we'll see you at the next one.
Thank you so much.
And do you want to tell everyone just your Instagram handle? And you also have a Discord channel that people can join as well.
Yes, join my Discord. You can find a link to my Discord at joy.lol, which is the website for Joy World.
Love that.
And then all my socials are my full name, John Orion Young, JohnOrionYoung. I love and appreciate everyone for supporting my art. I wouldn't be able to make anything if people weren't digging it. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Josie, for having me. Thank you, Whale Shark, for buying Juicy from Satman. Thank you, Satman, for letting Juicy go, because I know Juicy gave you a bunch of really good vibes that really helped you out. So wonderful stuff tonight. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone on the stream, and just keeping the chat awesome.
Yeah, I can't believe
Yeah, I
Spend your
will
evening with us.
see.
Jeez.
I know. I will see you guys soon on the next one. And oh yeah, Easy said we will all wear yellow. Um,
Yeah.
yay! Cool. Okay,
Official
I'm gonna
crypto art
stop the
color
stream
now.
here, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.